And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we have the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse in Baltimore, Maryland. Some say this was a cyber attack, a terror attack, just an accident. There's a lot of theories about what happened, but we get into the facts and the figures as of right now a little bit more, a little bit later. Also, Puff Daddy, that's how I know him. You guys may know him as Diddy. You may know him as Sean Combs. You may not know about him at all. I know him as Puff because when I was a kid, that's when he first started to come on the scene. Puff has been raided by the federales, by Homeland Security investigation to be exact, at his homes in Los Angeles and Miami, Holmby Hills and Star Island respectively. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, speaking about getting locked up, getting arrested, but probably not, Donald Trump's bond in the civil case, I guess that is. Do you post bond in the civil case? Is it a criminal case? I don't really know, but whatever. Has been reduced from $454 million to $175 million. And isn't there a little something in the Constitution about excessive bail? Are we not at that particular stage right now with Trump? We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you are hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And we got a lot to get into. There's a whole lot going on. I got a lot of videos for you guys, a lot of updates, a lot of news, a lot of everything. And shout out to you guys. Thank you to SA for the super chat. It says respect. I appreciate that. If you have any super chats, anything you want to do, you can contribute. I will read those at a certain point. So shout out to you guys. But we got a whole lot we're going to get through. We got everything. We have everything in the world going on here in a little bit. So, but first thing, y'all know how I do. Shout out to the sponsors. Y'all know patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these internets. Their link will always be in the description, or just go to their link through your browser, patriotpost.us. Also, go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, we have my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. I write an article for each video that I produce, and in the article, you'll find links and videos and whatever I can't necessarily put on YouTube, whatever I can put on there to add to my YouTube video will be on there. As long as it's legal, I'm going to post it again. AnthonyBLogan.com. And of course, you go to my contact page, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact, to find my email address, my snail mail address, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X. All those links are right there. But the most important thing on my website is my snail mail address, my UPS box. And shout out to you guys who send me things in the mail. I do get them. Even if I don't tell you right away, I do get it. And shout out to you guys who send me emails on my official email address without spamming me, contact@anthonyblogan.com. And if you can't remember, or you want to just go check it out and copy and paste so you don't get it wrong, go to my website. It'll be right there on the contact page. And of course, I got to tell you guys, because I still get emails saying, hey man, somebody said they were you on your YouTube page and they took some money from your artist, that, and the third. Listen, nobody has time to get scammed. This is 2024. We're about to be into a whole new presidency. We are just moving and grooving. The economy's crazy. Dollar Tree is now the $7 tree. Did you guys see that? I'll put it up in a minute. But anyway, we don't have time to be taken for our money. So if you're ever wondering if you're speaking to me or not on these internets, in the comment section, just cross-reference your method of communication with my contact page. If the email says, I'm a Nigerian scammer 007 at hotmail.com, or I live in some random European place and it used to be a Soviet republic and I'm going to scam you right now and I weigh 100,000 pounds at hotmail.com, that's probably not me. My email is contact@anthonyblogan.com. Very simple. Anything else, it's not me. Don't get scammed. Don't get robbed. I'm not going to ask for your WhatsApp. I'm not going to ask for your phone number. I'm not going to ask you for anything. If you want to contribute to the show, there's links right here on the actual video. You got Super Chat, you got Cash App, you got PayPal. All of that be right there in this video on the actual, in the description, never in the comment section now. Never, never, never in the comment section. Never follow someone from the comment section anywhere. Don't do it. This is part of the reason why I disable links, because people like to post links and then people go to the link and then they get scammed or they get a virus or something crazy like that. Nobody has time for that. So y'all be safe out there. 2024, don't get scammed. And we got a whole lot going on today. And of course, as I said from the beginning, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for being here. Without you, there is no me. All right. So what are we doing? I mean, are we spamming already? As soon as I'm talking about spam, we got somebody spamming. Like, we don't have time for that. Let's go ahead and do that. And hopefully we'll be good to go. All right. Yeah, the Dollar Tree, $1.25 tree, but the max price is $7. Did you guys see that? So, matter of fact, hold on. I think I'm gonna start right there. I'm gonna start right there with the Dollar Tree increase, because I just saw that come across my timeline. Maybe I'll do a full video about it tomorrow, but I just saw this come across. This was it like yesterday, today, whatever. So I think the minimum price. Oh, and then not only will the max price be $7, the minimum price will raise from $1.25 to $1.50. All right. And the previous cap, the previous highest price was $5. Okay. So you go from $1.25 minimum to $5 maximum to $1.50 minimum and $7 maximum. But I'm being told that inflation is not really a big deal. It's not a problem. Biden's America is going very good and he's creating a ton of jobs. If Biden's Build Back Better program is working, then I can't tell. I cannot tell. And shout out to you guys on the Facebook. Shout out to you, Christine and Michael. I appreciate y'all for holding me down on the Facebooks. And shout out to everybody on Facebook who I've not mentioned. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me over there. But yeah, if inflation is not really a thing, I can't tell. Let's go ahead and get into that right quick. This is Dollar Tree. They're going to raise their maximum price to $7 from $5, the previous maximum, and their minimum of $1.25 to $1.50. And we all know that it used to be $1. Check it out.
This morning, $1 won't go quite as far at Dollar Tree these days. The company now says it will increase its maximum price at stores to $7 this year. A $5 cap was put in place last summer. Family Dollar recently announced it will close close to 1,000 stores, 30 of which are Dollar Tree stores.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABL.
So there you have it. Dollar Tree, we're raising the prices. We're giving in to the inflation. I mean, really, you can't really give in or not give in. It is what it is. The inflation is here. All you can do is simply respond to it. So, yep, that is a sign of the times. But again, I'm being told by your main man, Biden, that there is no inflation. And if you bring up inflation, that's somehow disrespectful. It makes no sense to me. But hey, it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. And let me see. The quarter increase is breaking me to the max. Hey, man. Hey, I'm right there with you, boss. Rebecca says, better be name brand in the whole store then. Ain't no name brand. It's going to be straight from China. They're going to put whatever kind of name on it. Happy Lucky cereal. Ain't going to be no name brand for that raise. You want name brand, you're going to pay much more than the $1.25, $1.50, $7, $5. You're going to pay a whole lot more. All right. So let's keep on going here. And shout out to the police out there trying to break into someone's home. Somebody did something they shouldn't be doing. Now, this is a caption that says, when they come for our memes. Now, I don't know what happened right here at the very top. I don't know what was going on there. Did something get shot out of there? But my man's trying to beat the door down, and you're going to see something interesting come from the very top. This might be an older video. You may have seen it before, but I wanted to play it one more time. The music is killing me. Oh, my goodness. All right, my man, you're not really getting in there. It's not really working. And then, hold on, we got some movement. Whoa, wait a minute. We got a family show now. We can't be showing stuff like that through the door. Okay. So yeah, obviously, whatever you're doing with your battering ram or whatever, you know, it's not even the best. It's just an axe, the back of an axe. It's not working too well. Some steel-toe boots or something I suggest. Maybe that might be the best course of action. You know, I got a new door. Not recently, but it's been a while. Probably about a couple of years since I got a new door. And the front door I have, if you're trying to boot it down, good luck. You're going to be like my man right here. And I'm going to be behind it. And you're going to be able to see me. And you might get a similar gesture. But I would never have my door get beat down by the police. Never, ever. So, yeah, shout out to my man who was getting his door beat down by the police. Hopefully, they were able to get you if you did something wrong. Now, speaking about law enforcement, speaking about police, speaking about people that are doing things wrong, I want you to guess where this level of shoplifting is happening. We know about shoplifting happening all over the country, all over the USA, and it's not really a big deal. It's like whatever. Steal whatever you want, take whatever you want. You have all this crazy shoplifting happening, and they're wondering why Dollar Tree has become the $1.50 tree. They're wondering why a lot of these stores are closing in lower income areas, hood areas, rural areas. You're wondering why these stores are closing. Now, before I get to it, I'm seeing somebody right here. DJ Zeffy, is that your name, boss? Says, hello, Anthony. My name is Billy, and I'm watching this with my mother. Her name is Dorothy. It would mean a lot to us if you shouted us out. Thank you. We love you. Well, shout out to you, Billy and Dorothy. I appreciate y'all for joining. Shout out to you guys. Thank y'all for joining and keep on rocking with me. Now, let's check this particular clip out of the shoplifting. Guess where it is. And you might be able to see a hint, but don't shout it out too soon. Now, the caption says, stolen from Walmart, worth $1,291.
I copy, thank you.
Now, is this baby formula? Looks like it.
January.
Okay.
I think you're gonna need more carts.
And there's 2 carts from Target worth $5,858. And then look at this. do you see the sign they have? See this? Hold on. I'm getting triggered already. The sign they had in the back of their vehicle. Hold on. You see, there was a bunch of things being stolen, and they were going into this vehicle right here. There's a sign in the vehicle that says, "In Jesus' name, help." Single, and the single is spelled SINGAL. Single dad have, and the have is spelled HAWE. Hall, have 3 kids. Hard time. Blessing day. Please give me some money. I'm on the side of the road. I got 3 kids, single dad. Come help me. That's exactly why I don't give people on the street any money ever. I don't give them any money ever. Before I reveal the actual place where this was, let me just tell you something right quick. I'm going to tell you a story, a very brief story. I've told it before, but I got to tell it again right now. Where I live, there is or was a gang of these, I guess you would say beggars on the street. They have signs. It's a gang of them. And they set up shop near Hamilton Place. It's like the shopping mall area, a lot of stores, like a center of commerce where I live, right? They set them up right there, kind of off the beaten path, but at the same time right on it. And they would pretty much rotate in shifts. They were working out there with a sign, give me some money, blah, 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 blah. And at the end of their shift, they would get picked up by a vehicle and taken somewhere else to do the same thing or to rest or whatever. It was a job, is what they had. It was an organized thing, an organized ring of panhandlers. And a lot of these guys wound up setting up a base, a literal base in this kind of like depression, because Hamilton Place and this area in general, it's really hilly. It's a bunch of hills and things of this nature. So there was a big depression right near the mall area, and they had a base in there, like this big homeless encampment. It was trees covering it. It was tall trees in a deep kind of like depression. It was so much stuff down there. They had to get like an excavation team, this bunch of backhoes and whatnot to literally like almost, it was like dredging the river. That's how bad it was. It was so much, it was tons upon tons upon tons of stuff down in there. All right. So whenever I see a sign and somebody on the street, please help me. No, thank you. I'm not a mean person. I'm a charitable guy. I'll give to a food bank. I'll give to Goodwill. I'll donate my clothes. I'll give you furniture. Like if I got furniture that I don't want, TV stand, whatever it is, okay, I'll give it away. You can have it. I won't even sell it. Take that. What I'm not going to do is give you money. I'd rather give you a TV stand. I'd rather give you clothes. I'd rather give you things that are worth a lot of money than to give you 1 red cent from my pocket to you on the street, because this is a thing that happens. And by the way, if you're just now coming in, this is a sign of a beggar right here, but they were stealing a bunch of items, okay? $5,858 worth of, I guess, baby formula. And you're wondering where all the formula was a while ago. Now, I wonder, now you know. All right, so that's that. And it says total stolen in 20 minutes from 2 stores, $7,149 of what appears to be baby formula. All righty. And by the way, that's Oregon. That is Oregon. Left coast. That's why I call it the left coast, because you could put Free Auto Washington, Portland, Oregon, Los Angeles, San Francisco. You could put all those cities in one basket. It might as well be the same place. It might as well be one state. It's to the point where you want to have all those people that make these places really bad, just deport them to one island and see how it works out. Maybe it'll be good, but maybe it won't be good. Deport everyone. I'm talking about those that make the policy and those that break the law. Deport all of them to one island and then see how it turns out. And the regular normies, the middle class, to actually make the place run properly, let those of us who act right and don't have crazy policies, let us live among ourselves. That's what I want to do. Some said that there should be a national divorce. It's like, well, how are we divorcing? Like a state just breaking off? Because if California breaks off, they're taking the crackheads and the wokesters with them. How is that going to work? But anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, check this out. This is a young lady talking about communism. And I think there's quite a few of these individuals over there on the left coast, people that identify with communism. And I don't think she's a commie, but I think she's talking about how communism is and what it actually does.
Communism was created by a loser who created an ideology for losers, an ideology that caused destruction, death, poverty, wherever it was applied.
And pardon the voice, it's probably some kind of effect on the voice that somebody put on it. So please pardon that. Just let's hear the message.
And you may be asking yourself, why do people still support it? why is there still people saying that communism is a good idea? And I'll give you the answer right now, because there's still a lot of losers out there.
One more time. Let's hear it without my interruption.
Communism was created by a loser who created an ideology for losers, an ideology that caused destruction, death, poverty, wherever it was applied. And you may be asking yourself, why do people still support it? Why is there still people saying that communism is a good idea? And I'll give you the answer right now, because there's still a lot of losers out there.
Very well said. Very well said. There are a lot of losers that like a loser type of ideology. Okay, that's why people support it. And people are like, hey, man, why are so many commies? Why do they support these things? Because some people are losers, and losers like loser things. That's just the reality of it. And now some commies are going to come in here. ABL was never done right. Well, how is a thing that you think works never done right? Like ever. At a certain point, if it's never been successful, then it doesn't work, does it? It doesn't work, obviously. All right, now let's check out my man Malik Snap. Shout out to him. I think I'm going to do some reactions on this regular channel from him. He's just starting the game, and he has some pretty good man on the street interviews. This one is about, do Americans want open borders or a wall? All right, so what do you think some of the answers to this question are going to be? Open borders or a wall? All right. Matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go to his YouTube page, and we're going to watch because he has shorter clips on Twitter. I'll play this one. This is pretty interesting because the first answer was crazy. And these people, listen, these people that he's talking to on the street, they actually vote. They vote, and they have some kind of interest in your country. Let's check it out.
Would you rather have open borders or a wall?
Give me open borders, because you know what? You put a wall up, that's saying that you don't want nothing to do with anybody else.
I don't think a wall works. I don't think open borders work too.
But what's the solution?
Just stop them. I mean, you know.
Yeah, just stop them, huh? So the first young lady, she's like, yeah, open borders all day long. Because, you know, with a wall, it's just like what? What do you mean? Do you have a front door to your home? Do you have a lock to your home? Do you have locks in your car? It's to the point now, look, you don't even want to have your cell phone with no lock on it. But the country, the place you live, the whole country, just leave it wide open. Make that make sense. You want to lock your phone, your car door, your house door, everything, but the country wide open, make it make sense.
Open up the borders, say, hey, we're here for you, you're here for us. Okay, let's go ahead and be one as we're supposed to be.
There's a lot of people.
But look, check it out, though. Check it out. If we're supposed to be one, if you really believe that in your heart and soul, young lady, let them move to your house. Like inside your house. It don't matter. It don't matter who it is. Look, don't do a background check. Don't see, hey, was this person an axe murderer in their country of origin? Don't look into that. Just say, you know what, we're all one. It's all good. And as a matter of fact, let's not stop it there. Let's just say whoever, your local crackhead living in wherever you live, Podunkville, USA, let that local crackhead live in your home. You got kids? Don't worry about your kids. They'll be all right because we're all one, right?
Be one as we're supposed to be.
There's a lot of people who they just need to come over because they have a lot of like big problems in their life, and there's no any opportunities in their countries. So if it's gonna be like open walls, it's gonna be like a lot better, in my opinion.
You know, people are coming over from Mexico, and I think it is Mexico who has to worry or who has to take care of that, not the U.S.
As far as the southern border goes, we know that most immigrants don't actually come through the southern border directly. They usually overstay tourist visas or go via the ocean.
Okay. So I heard this quite a bit. Now, there are some people who come over and overstay visas, things of this nature. That does happen. However, there is also a massive problem at the southern border. We all can see it. We have eyes, we have ears. We can actually go to the border and look, and we're seeing thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people crossing the border illegally every single day. We can see it. It's a crisis happening right now. To say that other forms of illegal immigration happen does not negate the fact that there is a southern border crisis. All right. Pepsi exists, and so does Coca-Cola. Just because Pepsi is here does not mean there's no Coke.
So I don't know if like a wall would necessarily be effective.
Okay, so you see everything that's going on in New York, Eric Adams, there's so many migrants, they can't afford to pay for their hotels anymore. What is the solution for that?
Obama send, I don't know, he used to have planes and send them back. Obama and Biden send all of them back.
That's what we should do.
Yeah, especially the ones they don't have a good record.
What is the solution to the whole migrant crisis in New York?
So you know how you got big businesses and how they keep all their money for themselves? Open up. Help. Pay for these rooms for others because people are looking to better themselves.
And what would you say to those people that say, no, this is my money, I'm not going to spend it on those people?
Yeah, I'm not spending no, look, I spend my money how I want to spend it. I'm a business owner, whatever it is. I'll spend it how I want to spend it. Like, I don't know, maybe on my employees, on the business, whatever, not on illegal aliens.
Baby, the same way you made that money, other people are trying to make that same money. So money is just literally circulated. It's
what? Like, my brain is not really, this lady, come on. I need you to stay, if you're going to have opinions about stuff like this, let's get a little bit more educated, shall we? A teach more educated.
not forever going to be yours.
Who do you think had a better immigration policy, Trump or Biden?
Well, Biden, because Trump hasn't been president yet. Trump was never president.
What happened between 2016 and 2020? Who was president?
So Barack Obama was president in 2008 to 2016.
And then from 2016 to 2020, who was it?
Oh, it was Trump.
Like, are we trolling? We just not really. Come on, man. Like, these people, look, these are adults, man. They vote for real. They actually vote. They're among us. They are among us. All right. I mean, just let's get a few more IQs, a few more IQ points, and we'll be able to do something. We'll be able to achieve something. Okay. I was seeing quite a few low IQ takes in this particular video, but shout out to Malik Snaps. You guys go ahead and sub to him. I'll place a link to this particular video right here. All right. And let's go ahead and keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, speaking about city areas, I'm not quite sure where he was. That could have been New York. That could have been LA. I'm not really sure. But the knockout game is back. RIP to Colin Flaherty. The knockout game is back, or at least the sucker punch game. And what's happening is that women specifically are being targeted by this. Women are being punched in the face randomly in New York. All right. Young, pretty women a lot of times just getting punched in the face. So Eric Adams, what are we doing? What's going on? I thought we had Homeland Security down in the, not Homeland Security, I'm getting ahead of myself. I thought we had National Guard down there in the subway. So what's up? Why are we getting these girls getting punched in the face? Can we get a little bit more law enforcement? Can we back the blue for real in New York City? Can we do something to stop all this crime and violence from happening? People love New York. Personally, I hate it. New York, LA, if you guys live out there, shout out to you. But me, I might just be a country boy at heart. I can't really deal with the big cities and the crack smoke and the urine smells. I'm just good. But anyway, check this out. All right.
But
here we go.
Like, I just realized I was part of a group of women that got punched. What?
I literally just got punched by some man on the sidewalk.
So I just got punched in the face walking home. I was literally, you guys, I was literally just walking and a man came up and punched me in the face. Oh.
But like, I just realized I was part of a group of women that got punched. What? Literally.
So, like, what's going on in New York City? Why are all these girls getting punched in the face? Young girls just getting walloped randomly for no reason. Okay. CB says it's push person on the tracks game. Another rider killed a couple days ago. Yep, you got not only girls getting punched in the face, you have people getting pushed on the tracks, getting hit by the train. All that kind of stuff is going on. What's really happening? What's really going on? All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Somebody said I got Diddy on my mind. Not Diddy, but Homeland Security because of all that stuff that's going on. But shout out to Florida. Florida does things a little bit differently than New York, than California, etc. Florida is a teeny bit different. So check out what Florida does when you want to be a home invader, you want to be a squatter or whatever. They handle things a little bit different.
As to the person, we don't know which homeowner shot at him. I guess they think that they did something wrong, which they did not. If somebody's breaking in your house, you're more than welcome to shoot them in Santa Rosa County. We prefer that you do, actually. So whoever that was, you're not in trouble. Come see us. We have a gun safety class we put on every other Saturday. And if you take that, you'll shoot a lot better, and hopefully you'll save the taxpayers money.
There we go. That's the way it should be. Okay, that's the way it should be. Like I say it all the time on the live stream. I'm Mr. Peace. I'm really the real brother love. Unlike Puff Daddy. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm the real brother love. I don't want any kind of problems. I'm all about peace. But my thing is just don't breach the perimeter. Stay over there. Stay out there. You can yell and scream and screech all you want over there, but don't breach my perimeter, because once you do that, now you're in a different world. You've gone beyond your boundaries. You've really done something. You've gone beyond your boundaries. That's all I could really say about that. So shout out to my man out there in Florida saying, hey, you want to go ahead and delete that guy for breaking into your home? Then it is what it is. Now I got a video here that's pretty interesting. Some guy decides he wants to attack an officer. Now I don't know if this might be an older video, might be new. I have no idea. I came across it and I just wanted to show it. So my man, you see my man on the left, officer on the right, he's going to attack this officer. Now, what do you think is going to happen? What's your prediction about what's going to happen?
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Oh, he fucking punched him.
And sorry for the cursing, not my fault. Blame the guys who are recording.
Oh, yo, what the fuck?
Oh, there it is. Okay, we got K9 coming out.
Get that nigga. Oh
shit. What the fuck?
Yo, nigga fuck that nigga.
Yeah, so my suggestion would be do not assault a police officer. It might not be a good idea. Okay? It might not be a good idea. Now, some are going to say that's excessive. Well, you shouldn't have hit him. Shouldn't have put his hands on him. Okay, you could have got tased maybe in the rain. That might not work. Okay, so how about let me just open the door. Let me get Peaches. Let me get Peaches. You can talk to Peaches. Look, I'm not really going to try to take my taser out in this wet weather. I'm not going to shoot you. You can talk to Peaches. How about that? That's how we're going to go from now on. All right? It's as simple as that. And if you're not trying to have Peaches come holler at you, well, the best thing you could do is not try to assault a police officer. All right? So, yeah, shout out to Peaches. Shout out to the officer. Hey, he got bit, but he'd be all right. He'd be all right. He could have got tased in wet weather and get electrocuted, or it might not work, or he can get shot, and then that'll be even worse. So, yeah, that's pretty much how we're going to go with that. Now, let's go back to New York City. Your man, Eric Adams.
Everyone knows that New York City is the Athens of America. It's the Istanbul of America. It's the keys of America. It's the soul of America. We are the Tel Aviv of America. New York City is the Islamabad of America. The Zagreb of America. We are the Lima of America. New York City is Mexico City of America. This is the Dublin of America.
Yo, what? It's like wherever he goes, okay, your city is my city. Okay, you got the green St. Patrick's Day sweater on. Like, what are we doing, Eric?
America, New York City. Everyone knows that.
So yeah, shout out to your main man, Eric Adams. You know, Eric Adams, speaking about Puff Daddy, we're gonna get to him in a minute. But Eric Adams gave Puff Daddy the key to the city recently, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can find that right quick. And if you like what you hear him so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share it to the video, do all that good stuff. That helped me out tremendously. So here we go. Matter of fact, this was last year. He gave Puff Daddy the key to the city. All right. And here we have Puff dancing. So it says Sean Diddy Combs received the key to the city, to New York City from Mayor Eric Adams. And we got music going on for no reason. All right. There he is dancing. On the same day, he released his latest studio album. And let's see what he says.
Just released my first album in 13 years. The Love album, Off the Grid. Now, if you're an R&B fan, you're going to love this album. If you're a music fan, you're going to love this album. If you love love, you're going to love this album. It's called The Love album, Off the Grid. Make sure y'all check it out. I finally...
You know what I love? You know what I love, Puff Daddy? Getting consent. You know what I love? Being sober. You know what I love? Not trafficking cocaine. Allegedly. I'm not going to say he did it, but all I'm going to say is allegedly. I like getting consent. I like not snorting cocaine. I like not getting raided by the federales.
Returned back to music after 13 years. And also, I just got the key to the city. I'm a New York boy, and I just got the key to the city, and everything is just a little surreal right now. I'm having one of those great days, having a great Friday. What would Biggie say about me getting the key to the city? He would be very proud. He'd probably be crying, you know. Because it means so much to us. I mean, for me, you know, when I get out of here, I'm gonna definitely go have a good cry. I'm gonna have a good, happy cry.
All right, so there you go. Take that. Puff Daddy getting the key to the city. It didn't show Eric Adams giving him the key. All right, y'all give me a second here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, y'all know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, and there we go. Let's see if I can pull it up right quick. And all righty, here we are. Puff Daddy and Eric Adams. All right, key to the city. There we have it. Now, I think they arrested Puff, or he might be on the run. I'm seeing all kind of different things about him. They say they don't know where he is. They do know where he is. I don't really know. And I don't think that Eric Adams knew anything about what was going on. Not really. Not at this time. This was September last year, 23. So I don't know if he knew anything. He probably didn't. And I think the federales are also investigating Eric. The federales raided Eric's one of Eric's staffers' houses. I mean, it's a whole lot going on. It's a whole lot happening out of Manhattan, New York City. They're trying to get Trump. They might focus on themselves. Focus on yourself first, then rather than worrying about Trump. Now, speaking about New York City, there's going to be a price hike. So New York City's congestion pricing plan received final approval from the MTA on Wednesday. The plan entails a $15 toll on cars entering Midtown Manhattan, and the proceeds are going to go to mass transit projects. Check it out.
Tonight, there's big news from the Big Apple. Driving into the city could get more expensive. The Metropolitan Transit Authority in New York has given the green light to congestion pricing. That's something a lot of other cities will be looking at. The plan, the first in the U.S., calls for a $15 toll on cars entering Midtown Manhattan. The money would go towards mass transit projects, but it's not a done deal. Multiple lawsuits have been filed to block it, including by small business owners worried about the impact on their customers.
Now, okay. I got a few questions. Do you think it's good for New York City to pass this toll to reduce traffic? Or do you think, like I think, this is kind of being done as part of a green energy grift to force you to not own a car, to not use your car? I mean, that's what I'm thinking about, because they're talking about, oh, we got to go green, we got to go electric, we got to go mass transit. So rather than having your vehicle Just get on the train, board the train. We'll take you wherever you want to go. Or ride share, something like that. Reduce carbon emission. And then go vegan to stop cows from farting. Reduce carbon emission that way too. Meanwhile, the USA, as we stand today, right now, even with the gas guzzlers, and the thing about it, it's so dumb because they're talking about passenger vehicles. You still got 18-wheelers on the road. You still got planes in the sky, and they right up in the sky burning all kind of carbon. You know how much jet fuel burns? Like, have you seen like jet fuel or private planes? It's crazy. It's a whole big mess. But do you think this is being done to reduce traffic and to raise money? Or is it about some kind of green energy nonsense to disincentivize car ownership in the city? I think it's more of the latter. And I think the whole thing with gas prices in California is the same thing. $7 a gallon, stuff like that. It's to incentivize you to get a Tesla. You see more Teslas on the left coast probably than anywhere else in the country because gas is so high. At a certain point, it makes financial sense to get a Tesla. But the problem is when everybody has a Tesla, now we're going to have a strain on the grid. And when the grid gets strained, all they're going to do is bring in more and more coal, more so-called fossil fuel, more so-called dirty fuel. Like I was saying before, in West Virginia, they killed the economy because of the EPA closing the coal mines. They killed it. And then you had Hillary Clinton famously saying, oh, well, learn the code. Was that her that said learn the code? Or it might have been Biden. Somebody said that. But they're talking about closing the coal mines. Ironically, ever since they're talking about green vehicles, green energy, Teslas, things of this nature, electric vehicles, there's a bigger demand for coal, and they're opening some of the closed coal mines up. All of a sudden now, coal is fine because it's going to power their electric vehicles. But anyway, I digress. As I was saying, as it stands right now, the USA is one of the cleanest countries in the world, of its size especially. The carbon emissions, the pollution comes from India and China specifically. India and China, also Africa as far as like water pollution, land pollution, but really India and China, and I think it's like 9 rivers over there, 9 rivers. The USA is clean as a whistle. Put it to you this way. Let's compare USA to China and India. USA is like a spick and span clean countertop you can eat off of with no plates or utensils with your bare hands. It's that clean. India and China is like a toilet. It's that dirty. Nothing against India or China or their people. I'm just saying the level of dirtiness is not even close. It's not even close. But for some reason, the USA has got to be the country that has no more gas-powered vehicles, all green everything. Make it make sense. You know why they're doing it? Is because it's a grift. It's all a game. It's to get money. It's so Al Gore and Greta Thunberg and everybody else in the green energy mafia get more money. That's all. If they're really serious, they would never even come to the USA and talk about anything climate related, environment related. You would be permanently over in New Delhi, Shanghai, somewhere like that. You be over there all the time talking to them. But you're not serious, so you over here just trying to get money. Period. And you know that when you have all these regulations on the books in America, all that's going to happen is we're going to outsource it to India and China and make them more polluted, which is what's happening right now. All of our manufacturing, all of our jobs. Oh, it's too dirty to have over here. Okay, now they get it. And the same air, the same atmosphere is still going to be impacted. So it's dumb. It's totally dumb. NERN says Al Gore has a heated pool, probably. Of course. Ain't no question about it. Okay, like all these celebrities talking about, oh, we got to save the planet, have sprawling estates, 100,000 square feet types. They have these crazy, ridiculous, just, I can't even really call it. They live in shopping malls. It's crazy. TRR says Maryland wants to tax rainwater. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, let's keep on going. Speaking about New York City, this is a Trump story that you may have heard before. But if you've not heard it before, I want you to hear it. All right, hold on. Robert All the Reason says they even have a rain tax where you pay based on how much water runs off your property. So you get taxed based on how much it rains. So if you get taxed for weather, that's crazy. That's totally crazy. But here's a Trump story you may have heard before, but if you've not heard it, you're going to hear it for the first time. You know, they say Trump is so racist. He's racist. He hates black people. First of all, nobody ever said Trump was racist until he became a Republican. Nobody ever said that. When he was on The Fresh Prince, when he was on Home Alone, when he was being mentioned in rap songs, Bill Gates, Donald Trump, let me in now. I'm up like Donald Trump. Trump was a black icon. Trump was in 50 Cent's G-Unit Radio. Like, G-Unit, understand this. I'm gonna talk about G-Unit Radio right quick. G-Unit Radio, and I'm gonna have to find that. This was what they were doing before 50 really got going. This was like in the earlier days, the earlier times. And after a while, 50 became, you know, with Eminem and Dr. Dre and Aftermath and all of that. Trump was on G-Unit Radio in New York City with Yayo, like not even 50 Cent himself, with Yayo, one of the supporting characters. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find that right quick. And then we're going to get into the story that I know you heard before. Here we go.
Take over the world,
okay.
Shoot Donald Trump, smell the money. Niggas, you know who you with. It's Tony Ayo up in this. Donald Trump, just say something.
I'm here, folks. I'm here. This
smell the money.
Great group of people.
Smell the.
This is 2005, by the way. 2005.
The money.
Yeah, G-Unit Radio. G-Unit Radio. Who kid? Christ.
Hey, Yayo, you owe Who Kid some money.
I met Trump.
So, not 50 Cent, but Yayo, one of the 50 Cent's people. Like, not even the main guy, and Trump's right there chilling, hanging out. When was Trump ever a racist? I can't tell. He was hanging out throughout the history of black entertainment, black politics. He was always there. Jesse Jackson, Muhammad Ali, Rosa Parks, 50 Cent, everybody, Snoop Dogg, everybody. But when he became a Republican, ran for president, all of a sudden, he went from being an honorary black guy to a racist, white supremacist. Make that make sense. It's stupid. It's just dumb. And when you ask people that think this way, why they think that way, they want to get aggressive and start to fight you and things of this nature, rather than addressing the question and giving an honest answer, because there is no honest answer. They're just liars who've been manipulated by the media. But anyway, let's get to the story that you may have heard before about Trump being a so-called racist. Check it out.
Is Trump a racist?
I don't think so. I've talked to a number of black entrepreneurs who back in the late 80s and 90s, early 90s, were trying to get financing. They couldn't. Somebody told them to go check with Donald Trump. So they come back and tell me they got a loan from Donald Trump. He gave them a term loan. Show up with the interest and the principal, one check. But they had to go see him personally. They independently relate this tale that when they saw him, he said, "This what you supposed to pay me? This our agreement?" I said, "Yeah." And then tore the check up, shook their hands, and congratulations. Now run your business. He didn't have any problem with dating a black woman, walking her down red carpets. Most people don't know this. He was the finance man behind Jesse Jackson's 2 runs for president.
Wow. Is Trump a racist?
So I'm having a hard time understanding where Trump became a racist. I don't really get it. I don't understand. I don't get it. Since when? Never. And then, of course, with Jennifer Hudson, when her family was murdered in Chicago, Trump opened the door to her at Trump Tower. Hey, whatever you need, you got it. Free is whatever, I got you. No problem. But for some reason, the media was successful in making them be a racist because, how they were successful is because the media is very powerful. The media is very, very, very powerful, which is why they don't like guys like me and many others on YouTube, the alternative media. They don't like us because they understand how powerful we are, and they want to keep the power for themselves. They are a dying industry that everybody knows sucks. They know they're losing ground to us, which is why they want to hate on us and run hit pieces. They want to say, oh, these MAGA Republicans, extremists. They want to otherize us, to demonize us in the eyes of the general public using the last bit of their power that they have. All right. But anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And let's get to some more stuff here. Oh, speaking about carbon footprint, let's go to your man, Justin Trudeau in Montreal. Okay, Justin Castro, check it out. All right, look at that motorcade. Okay, carbon footprint where? Green energy where? Are these big suburban looking vehicles? Are these EVs? What kind of gas mileage do you get on these big Suburbans? So there we go. That's what's happening with Trudeau in Montreal, Canada, with the big motorcade. Hold on. Let's turn down some of that sound. Then we got police cars. Defund the police, except for me. Hey, let's defund the police. But when I come to town, I'm going to have the entire police force. That's how they always do. They always do the same thing. Defund the police. But when I come to town, I'm going to have the entire police force behind me. Defund the police. But when I come to town, I'm going to have not only the police, but my own Secret Service, security. They're going to have guns and everything else. You can't have police protection. You can't have guns for yourself. When the criminals come in, put your keys at the front. Put your keys right there at the very front. All they want is your car. But I get to have armed security, armed guards, the entire police force, everything to protect me. You see how that works? But anyway, yeah, that's not very green of him over there. Now, shout out to Don Lemon. You guys know Don Lemon was going to have a show, and I was rooting for Don Lemon. I really was. I was like, okay, Don Lemon, you can redeem yourself, because at one point back in the day, Don Lemon was more conservative, even on CNN, telling black folks, pull your pants. I'm like, okay, Don Lemon, you got a little bit of conservative in you. Now, I was rooting for him to kind of go back the other direction, but of course, he did not. He did not go the other direction, and he was going to be on X, well, Twitter. He had a show. There was going to be an agreement, and it didn't work out. Grand opening, grand closing. Just like somebody else we'll talk about in a minute. But grand opening, grand closing. And here he is on TMZ talking about a few things. All right, let's check it out.
I think I might be open to it only.
And I think the question was CNN. Would he go back to CNN? Now, I don't know why that was the question, because last I checked, he got fired from CNN. So is it really your choice to go back to CNN? If it is, I can't tell. But anyway.
I think I might be open to it only if they offered me a Tesla truck and equity in the company. And that I could go to see how stupid that is.
So basically, he's talking about the news that came out that said he wanted a Tesla truck and equity in the company, and he wanted to make decisions when it came to news on Twitter as part of his agreement to do a show over there. But now he's saying that's bogus and it was a lie, that it wasn't, that story was just false.
Listen, here's what I'll say. I don't think that is in the realm of possibility.
Right.
I didn't actually think that that I would end up back on CNN in my same studio, working, with the same, or appearing in a studio with the same group of people who were my camera people and studio people and what have you. So that was like
fair use, TMZ. Don't give me no copyright on this, man. I know how y'all do. Harvey, I know how y'all do over there. Don't give me no copyright on this. Not for Don Lemon, man. Not for this. That's not really worth a copyright.
a little surreal. I don't think it's in the realm of possibilities. It would depend on the offer. I don't know if I would want to do a show 5 days a week or what have you, but it would just depend on what it is. But I would have to say, quite honestly, I don't think that that's in the cards.
So yeah, you're not going back to CNN. It's not your decision anyway. And what is happening with this artwork in the background? Like, what is this? These people in certain, in certain circles, they just do different things. But that's quite enough. He looks kind of worn out. Go ahead and just rest somewhere. He's up there in age, though. He's like 58, I think. How old is Don Lemon now? Don Lemon, he's got to be 58. Yep, I was right on the money. He just turned 58 on March 1st. He was born on March 1, 1966. So he 58 years old. And you look every bit of it. People say I look old. Not really. I just have a great beard. I cut my beard off. I look like I'm about 15 years old. But Don Lemon with no beard looks his exact age. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And let's keep on going here. Oh, speaking about people who have been relieved of duty or have left, or the rumor is they've been fired. And by the way, why do people say that Candace Owens got fired? Like, where's the evidence that she got fired? Just because somebody does not work somewhere anymore does not mean they got fired. There's more than one way to stop employment somewhere. You could get fired, or you could quit, or the company could go out of business. Just because you don't work there anymore does not mean you got fired. All right. But I'm seeing a lot of people say that she got fired. And, the science behind that is people are gloating. They're gloating because they feel like she deserved it. That's all that it is. It ain't really nothing else to it. But anyway, so Ben Shapiro was on Piers Morgan, and Ben was asked about Candace Owens and why she's not there. And you're going to see his response. Check it out.
One of the consequences of this war has been a lot of very high passions on both sides, a lot of angry disagreements. You and your company have been at the center of a very high-profile one at the moment with Candace Owens, who's now left Daily Wire. Was she fired, or did she leave of her own volition?
I'm not going to speak to this topic, Piers.
At all?
At all.
And you know what? I'm gonna just defend Ben Shapiro right quick, although I am not. Understand me when I say this. I am not a Ben Shapiro fan at all. Not even a little bit. Shout out to Anton Daniels for that one. Not even a little bit. I'm not a fan of Ben Shapiro. However, I'm sure there was a contract in place. I'm sure there were terms negotiated. So you can't just say whatever you want to say when you're talking about contracts and things of this nature, because now you can get into some legal stuff when you want to talk badly about a former employee, and then there's a contract, then there's money. Because look, there could have been the contract and there could have been time left on it. There might have been the buyout, and the buyout could have had certain terms. You can't just say whatever you want to say on a platform like this when you're talking about some contractual obligations. Now, some are going to say that he spoke about Steven Crowder, but there was no contract there. There was negotiations for a contract, but no contract. They never actually started working. And then Crowder came out and said some things which made them have to respond. Now, if Candace came out and said some things about Jeremy and Ben and whatnot, then they may respond. But ultimately, there's a contract and there's money on the table that's already exchanged hands. But in the case of Crowder, that hadn't happened yet. But I digress.
You can't give me any insight into why she departed?
No hints, no nothing. I'm not going to speak to this.
Can I ask why?
I mean, you can ask.
No, I'm not. Can I ask why you don't want to say anything?
Again, you can ask.
I'm only curious because I know what a staunch defender of free speech you are. And it would surprise me if it had been someone's opinions that would make you want to part company with them. However contentious.
Suffice it to say, the only thing I will say is what I've said all along with regard to Candace or with regard to any of our other hosts. I am not in hiring and firing position with the Daily Wire. I'm a co-founder of the Daily Wire. I'm a co-owner of the Daily Wire. I'm not actually in management. Jeremy Boring and Caleb Robinson are in management positions with regard to Candace or anyone else. And as far as the free speech situation, what I will say is that no company has the obligation to literally pay anyone. The Daily Wire is a publisher. It is not a platform. I've never called for Candace or anyone else for that matter to be banned from YouTube, to be banned from X, to be banned from any platform. That's a different story, obviously, when it comes to any publisher. Any publisher gets to make decisions about what it wishes to purvey and not.
I mean, I'm just not going to labour this, but one more point I would make is it's been reported extensively that the reason for her departure was because her comments have been perceived by people at the Daily Wire as anti-Semitic.
Again, I'm not going to comment on this, Piers.
Okay.
Yeah, he was trying. Piers was trying to get the scoop, but he wasn't going for it. You know, so yeah, I think what happened was Ben and Candace had a beef. There was a beef there between Ben and Candace, and she wanted to leave. She wanted to leave and do her own thing. And she didn't want that beef to be there. She probably was offended when he said something about her. She probably decided to leave on her own. And, you know, I think that's what that was. I think it was a mutual thing. I don't think that she got fired, but people love to say that she got fired because they don't like her. That's just all that. It's just hate. It's just hate because you could quit a job. You could just stop working somewhere without getting fired. Like if there's a job you work at and you don't like your boss and you quit, did you get fired or did you quit? It's a difference. But anyway. And when you're talking about a contract and things like that, you can't just getting fired. Is not just like you're working at Pizza Hut. Okay, you're not on a schedule no more. It's not quite that way. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video. Yeah, he's a lawyer. Of course he's a lawyer. Yes, that's right. Back up. Ben is a lawyer. He will not get caught up in no nonsense like that. He will know better than to just answer questions crazy and mess up contracts. It ain't going to happen. But I think there was a beef between him and Candace said, you know what? I'm tired of this. I don't like you anymore. I want to go do my own thing and say what I want to say. And that's simply it. All right. And anything else, anybody talking about she got fired and all this, it's just people's opinion. That's all. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, let me see. Butthead says, Gerald finally talked about the situation this morning between Crowder and his wife. Gerald didn't want to do it, but it was an issue for 1 year. Okay. Yeah. The whole thing with the divorce and Crowder, that's a whole different story. Crowder, I think, made a bunch of mistakes in that situation. Crowder should have took you know what Crowder should have done in the whole divorce situation? He should have taken the road that Ben just took and not said nothing, because trying to defend yourself, it made it worse. Because when the tape came out, you look like the worst person on planet Earth. Then you said I picked wrong. He just handled that whole thing wrong. You want to say things one way, you want to clear your name, you want to do certain things to say, hey, I didn't do anything. See, how you're handling this is wrong. You're not doing the right thing. In your mind, you think you're doing the right thing. You want to defend yourself in your name, but ultimately you look worse. You look really bad doing what you're doing. All right. That's that on that. He should have taken the Ben Shapiro approach. I'm going to just, hey, respect our family. We're going through a time right now. I'm not going to say nothing. That's what I did. I got divorced. When I got divorced, nobody knew nothing. I ain't say a word. And to her credit, she ain't say nothing either. And if she said something, well, she's not going to say anything because she ain't that kind of person. But if she did say something, I wouldn't even respond, because it's a lose-lose situation. I will only respond if I was in court, but I never went to court and nothing like that. I never had no court process, nothing crazy. I've heard some horror stories about people going to court and getting rung through it, but I've not gone through that. And especially when there's court action, you keep your mouth shut. Fonnie Willis and Crowder and whatnot, they don't understand that when you're going through court action, when you got some allegations against you, don't say a word. when you speak out, no lawyer or nothing present, you're making it worse. 100% worse. But I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, speaking about more firing, hiring, people leaving, quitting, Ronna McDaniel. So check it out. Ronna McDaniel stepped down from the RNC. Someone said she got fired, but I don't think she got fired from the RNC, because the RNC, truthfully, Ronna McDaniel leaving the RNC won't make a big difference, in my opinion. I just think that she stepped down because there was pressure for her to step down from the outside rather than the inside. If not for the outside pressure, she wouldn't have stepped down. Trump said, hey, you're not doing a good job. People like myself, many others say, hey, you're not doing a good job. I think the pressure from the outside made her step down. I don't think she was forced to step down from the RNC. So that happened. And immediately afterwards, she goes to NBC as a political analyst. Now, that was a move that MS-13 DNC did not like. Chuck Todd didn't like it. Joe Scarborough didn't like it. Rachel Maddow didn't like it. Who else? Joy-Ann Reid. The whole network hated that decision to hire Ronna McDaniel, the former chair of the RNC, because you got to understand, they've spent years talking about how much the MAGA Republicans are dangerous and racist and all the obics opes in the world. They've spent years branding people like Ronna McDaniel as the enemy. So when NBC hires her, it's like, what are you doing? Why would you hire the enemy? I don't care about her being a good political person or she can speak well on television. I don't care about that. You hired the enemy. So they're getting inundated with calls from normies all over the world. The 10 people who watch MSNBC every weekday at car dealerships, when they're forced to, they called and said, hey, man, what are you doing hiring Ronna McDaniel? That caused the host to do the same thing. Everybody were like up in arms. So now, just 2 days after she was announced to be on NBC, she got fired. All right. So I'm not sure what's next. I mean, hey, learn the code. Maybe that might be next. But anyway, let's look at some of the reaction from the people. Let's look at the reaction, the reaction to her being hired, and then the reaction to her being fired.
Hiring a former RNC chair, Ronna McDaniel.
Well, she was on Sunday's Meet the Press. It was her first appearance since NBC News hired her as a political analyst. I know you won't be surprised to know that we've been inundated with calls this weekend, as have most people connected with this network, about NBC's decision to hire her. We learned about the hiring when we read about it in the press on Friday. We weren't asked our opinion of the hiring, but if we were, we would have strongly objected to it for several reasons, including, but not limited to, as lawyers might say, Ms. McDaniel's role in Donald Trump's fake elector scheme and her pressuring election officials to not certify election results while Donald Trump was on the phone.
To be clear, we believe NBC News should seek out conservative Republican voices to provide.
That's BS. They don't believe that. What they want are people like Ana Navarro, a Republican in name only, a rhino. That's what they want. They don't want actual conservatives on NBC. Not at all.
Balance in their election coverage, but it should be conservative Republicans, not a person who used her position of power to be an anti-democracy election denier, and we hope NBC will reconsider its decision. It goes without saying that she will not be a guest on Morning Joe in her capacity as a paid contributor. Here's why.
Then they're going to get into the whole thing about what she said, all this and that and the third. Okay, but let's skip ahead a little bit. They were triggered, they were upset, they were butthurt, and now we got Jim Carrey over there. I mean, Rachel Maddow and Joy-Ann Reid. You see the joy in their faces. that Ronna McDaniel has been fired. Check it out.
So something happened. Another thing happened that is not about the abortion situation. Our chairman of the NBC Universal News Group, Cesar Conde, who we both know very well, he sent a memo that we all got as employees here, rescinding the hiring of Ronna Romney McDaniel. And I know I felt very strongly about it. I know you felt very strongly about it. I think everyone from 4 o'clock on, from Nicole all the way to midnight, we all felt very strongly and said so on our respective shows yesterday. And I just have to say, when somebody does the right thing, I feel like it should be acknowledged as publicly as we acknowledged our outrage. And so I know how I feel about it. I am grateful to Cesar for actually making the right decision. I think it was the right decision, but I want to get your take as well.
Oh, well, thank you for asking me about it. I still feel like a little. It always feels wrong to talk about things, in the company
Agreed.
As if it's news. And it's just this. It's not the way either you or I are wired. I know, but I will just say that journalists are a fractious bunch. And in our big company with all sorts of different journalistic entities, you have all sorts of different people working in this business, doing all sorts of different kinds of work. And to see the essentially unanimous feeling among all the journalists in this building and all the sort of senior staff and all the producers and everybody in this building about this was one thing. But then to see the executives and the leadership hear that and respond to it and be willing to change course based on their respect for us and hearing what we argued, I have deep respect for that. I do. I mean what I said on the air last night on my show, that I think that acknowledging that you might have gotten something wrong is a real sign of strength.
Okay, so that's their reaction. They're praising, was it Cesar Conde? Shout out to the big boss. They're naming the big boss right there. Normally they don't talk about the big bosses, but they got word from the big boss that Ronna McDaniel has been fired. And I want to just address a few things here. First of all, they said Ronna Romney McDaniel. That was a dog whistle right there to illustrate that she is kin to Mitt Romney. She's Mitt Romney's niece. That was interesting. That was funny. If I was to say Barack Hussein Obama, I'd be called a racist, right? Although that is his name. But anyway, I digress. Something else. Somebody was saying in the comments, Rachel Maddow makes between $20 and $30 million per year. Yes, that's correct. I'm reading that at one point she made $7 million a year, Rachel Maddow, but now since 21, she makes $30 million a year. That's what I hear. Now, I don't know where they have that kind of money. Maybe you get money straight from the Democratic Party, straight from the federal government itself. How are you going to go on this dead network, dying network, NBC, MSNBC, and get paid 30 M's? 30 million U.S. American cold hard cash dollars a year, not even for the full contract, per year, as Rachel Maddow. I mean, what in the world? That's crazy. But hey, that's what's happening out here. They're happy that she's gone. I mean, Ronna McDaniel, listen, I think that was going to be a match made in heaven, because Ronna McDaniel, that's their people. Whether they want to admit it or not, whether they want to believe it or not, Ronna McDaniel is more akin to Rachel Maddow than she is to a Harris Faulkner on Fox News. And that's real talk. So really, that was the best fit for her, was MSNBC, NBC, or whatever, the leftist news outlets. That's more in line with the uniparty, federal government, DC stuff that goes on. It's simple. Yeah, 30 M's, $30 million per year, allegedly. Now, some say that that's not true, but different sources say the bare minimum $7 million, but I know it's more than that. I know that she makes more than that for sure. All right, now let's go to Fox and see what they said about the firing.
I'll tell you the biggest problem, and I tweeted about this last night, or X post. Their biggest problem is that became a public toxic work environment for her. She was still an employee when they were tearing her down.
Yeah.
Now, if NBC and MSNBC execs were smart, they would have warned their people, if you want angst, air it privately in the family. We'll get together privately in your offices. But they now have opened themselves up to epic lawsuit proportion. I hope she gets paid to high heaven, because they created a place where she was bullied in the public sphere, bullied in the public square of television, and degraded to the point where, it might be hard for her to get another job right away.
I think that's
we
an
don't
excellent
know.
point.
But the attorney, I'm sure, can make the point.
I think
that was a really good point. I didn't think about that. That was a good point. So basically what Harris was saying is you have all these hosts bullying Ronna McDaniel on air, like relentlessly. She shouldn't have been hired. We're not going to have her on. They created a toxic work environment. We're talking about corporate places. We're talking about laws that exist. You have laws that prevent things like that from happening. And when you violate certain things in the workplace, you got a lawsuit. It's easy. It's a layup. Listen, we saw the police officer, Megan Hall, sue the city of Laverne, Tennessee, right next to Nashville. She sued the city and 3 officers for sexual harassment, although she was voluntarily engaging in these actions. There was no criminal allegations, but she said it was a toxic work environment. They were sharing my pictures. I was being pressured. It was a toxic work environment, and she got paid. She wanted to get paid. Now, of course, the lawsuit was settled because it would have cost more to go to trial and do all that. It would have cost more to actually try to fight the lawsuit, and but it doesn't matter. She still got paid $500,000 from a small city in Tennessee. So imagine Ronna McDaniel being who she is, being Mitt Romney's niece, suing NBC. You're talking about $10 million, easy on the low end. So you know what? As much as I'm not a fan of Ronna McDaniel or Mitt Romney, I wouldn't mind seeing them get sued, meaning NBC. I wouldn't mind seeing that. For me, that's 2 birds of one stone. Look, okay, no Ronna McDaniel on my TV. That's great. That's number 1. And number 2, NBC take a L, lose about $20 million. I like to see that too. If there was a contract that got signed and then it was rescinded, okay, pay that money and then get sued and lose about $20 million. Why not? I love it. I love to see it. And this is the thing with these companies. They always do stuff like this. These big companies, NBC, etc., and then they accuse the other side of doing the same thing. It's a bunch of gaslighting and stuff going on. It's weird. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, speaking of bullying and harassment, I don't understand why Kyle Rittenhouse is being protested when he goes to speak at colleges. I don't get it. Kyle Rittenhouse did the world a favor. Didn't he delete 2 white pedophiles? I don't care what kind of color you are. You could be black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe. If you are a kid diddler and somebody deletes you, you did the world a service. Like, you're actually convicted, not just an accusation. You went to prison. You got convicted. You did it. There's evidence. You did it. If you get deleted, so what? Why would I shed a tear for a pedophile getting deleted? And then he was being attacked by these guys. So you got self-defense and you cleansed this world of filth. Not because you're vigilante, it's because you were being attacked. It was purely self-defense. So if in self-defense, you take out the worst, you're talking about bad people. Listen, there's evil in this world, right? There's evil in this world. People that do bad things, people that harm, steal, rob, whatever. But there's certain levels of bad. A pedophile, that's like the worst of the worst. Guys that attack old women, like just vulnerable people, people that are disabled, people like that. That's the worst of the worst. But you touching kids, nah. You can go over there. You can go 6 feet deep. Why would you protest against Kyle Rittenhouse for doing what he did? He didn't do anything wrong. The world is a better place without him. Not Kyle Rittenhouse, but the world is a better place without those who Kyle Rittenhouse deleted. But anyway, check this out. And we have protests, and this is Western Kentucky University. I had no idea you had any black folks in Western Kentucky, but maybe you do. Louisville, I guess, is right there. Check it out.
You can't stop the revolution!
You can't stop the revolution!
They can't stop the revolution!
They can't stop the revolution!
So we have signs that say, "We matter." Another sign that says justice system, school system, medical system, WKV. I don't know what that is. I think it says failed. And then it says WKU. Oh, they're saying WKU. Okay. WKU, institutional racism. That's so dumb. Do you see this sign right here? Okay, there's a sign. Hold on, I'm kind of in the way. You can't really see the sign. Okay, there we go. There's a sign right there in the center, in the pink. It says WKU equals institutional racism. Listen, I've said it before. Young people, if you can hear the sound of my voice, why would you go to a college that you think is racist? You paying your money. You're an adult at this point, I would assume, for the most part. You may have minors going there in certain circumstances, but for the most part, you're over 18. You're an adult spending your own money. And if you're not spending money, you're spending somebody's money, whether it be your parents, whether it be a scholarship. Listen, why would you choose to spend time, money, and energy at a place that you think is racist? I don't get it. I never understood that. I knew at a young age, when I was 17 years old, graduating high school, I knew that it's my money and I have the power to choose. I have the power to do whatever I want to do because I'm spending my money. Listen, if I don't want to go to class, okay, well, I'm just wasting my money. It's simple. It's an investment that I'm making into me. And if it's not me paying for it, then it's my parents or my grandparents or whoever. But in my case, it was my money. Why would I spend it at a place I think is racist? It makes no sense. If I don't like where I go, I'm going to transfer and go somewhere else.
They can't stop the revolution.
And then another sign says, welcomes killers unapologetically. That's WKU. Again, you are the dummy. You are the idiot for paying money to go to a place that you don't like. It's the same thing as, okay, you have a myriad of restaurants to choose from. There's like just endless restaurants. You can go to McDonald's, KFC, Olive Garden, Ruth Chris, Capitol Grill, Fogo. You could go wherever you want to go with your money. Now, if every day you go to a restaurant, you spend $100 at the restaurant, you eat the food, and every day you say the food sucks, I'm asking you a question. What are you doing? I mean, do you have all your marbles? Are you a few trees short of a forest? Are you a few fries short of a Happy Meal? What's going on up here? Why would you spend $100 at a restaurant, eat every day, and hate the food? At a certain point, you're going to say, you know what? I got a bright idea. How about I take my money and my time and myself and go to a new restaurant and eat their food? Or how about this? You know what? They got things called grocery stores, right? I can go and buy my own ingredients and cook the food myself just the way I like. It's stupid. It's dumb. If you go to college and you protest your own college, you are a moron. Period.
You can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution. No peace. No peace. You can't stop the revolution.
So all of that was over Cal Rittenhouse coming to speak with Turning Point USA. Okay, some are going to just protest Turning Point USA, like my man right there, like Rod Wave, great value Rod Wave in the middle. No more Turning Point USA. Okay, that makes sense. You don't like Turning Point? All right. Then you have some that are protesting their own school. It's like, you're dumb. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. If you protest your own school, you spending your money, you can go wherever you want. Now, let's get to a little bit more of a serious issue here. I'm going to show you guys a picture of some of the damage, and you guys kind of know where I'm going here. This is about the accident in Maryland. Now, what do you guys think? I'm not going to do a poll. I'll just ask you what you think. Do you think that this was purely an accident? Do you think it was a cyber attack? Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a poll. Forget it. Why not? Let's do a poll. And the poll is about the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Maryland, right by Baltimore, Dundalk. Do you think this was an accident or was it done on purpose? We can get to the intricacies of those questions, but I'm going to ask a simple question with just 2 responses. Do you... hold on. How can I phrase this? Your opinion on the Key Bridge in Baltimore? Question mark. Accident. Done on purpose. Okay, so the question is going to be your opinion on the Key Bridge in Baltimore, accident or done on purpose. All right, so I'm gonna start the poll. You guys can vote and let me know what you think. This is the damage, a picture of it, and you can see the scale here. You see the tugboats or whatever right here in front of it. You can see how small they are. These are actual police boats. Pardon me. These are police boats. You can see the size of these boats right here compared to the size of the actual ship. And a lot of you guys talking about it's not 800,000 pounds. ABL is 800,000 tons. I think these ships can be 800,000 tons. I think they were like 200 million pounds, 250 million pounds. So whatever it is, the tons, you could do the math on that. Empty, these are very heavy. I saw the gross tonnage, but I'm not sure that's the actual weight. But anyway, very heavy and very big. You can see how big these things are. The ship was probably heavier than the bridge. Now, some are going to say this is crumbling infrastructure. I don't think so. Any bridge, it doesn't matter how well it's built, how new it's built. Any bridge like the one that we saw would have the same thing happen if it gets hit by a ship like that. It's just at a certain point, you're dealing with just physics. Physics are not going to be able to, you can't overtake physics with engineering at a certain point. You can try to resist some effects of physics with engineering, but you can't totally overtake it. That's not really how that works. But anyway, I think it was an accident. That's my honest opinion, but I understand why some don't think that. Now, let's go ahead and show this. Okay, we don't have the music. Let's turn the music off. But here is someone that had some up close video of it at night. And you can see the whole bridge structure resting on top of the actual ship. Yeah, I mean, these ships are very big. I've seen them in person. They are humongous. It's hard to really understand just how big these ships are until you see them. Like, you ever seen the anchor? The anchor is bigger than you are. The anchor. It's massive. Like, to see this part of the ship right here, like go to Virginia, go to Norfolk. They got ships like on land that are big like this, and you can see how big they are. They're humongous. All right. Somebody said boat fuel can't melt steel beams. No, but this big ship can most certainly damage a bridge and collapse it. Yeah, that's definitely what can happen. Yeah, and as you can see, the anchor was dropped, but the ship was going too fast. It was already kind of in that trajectory. It was pretty much already over with. And then some were saying, why did it go up under the bridge? Well, the bridge is designed to have traffic underneath it. When you have high-rise bridges like that, they're designed to have traffic go underneath. It's like that in Virginia. We got a bunch of those. We have Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, where you got the bridges and you have tunnels. That's why you have tunnels, so you can have traffic go on top of the actual traffic, or it'll go under the traffic. We got the Veterans Bridge. We have the high rise going to Chesapeake Western Branch. We got the high rise, The high rise is high up and it'll draw. The Berkeley Bridge, it'll draw. Drawbridges, obviously, when you have in the traffic, you got to have more room. The bridge will draw. It'll open up and close when traffic is over with. Yeah. But the best kind of bridge to have is a high rise. So there's no need for a draw, usually. All right, let's keep on going. Now, here's your man, Joe Biden. Before we get to more footage of the actual bridge, here's your man, Joe Biden, talking about he commuted many times from Delaware over to Francis Scott Key Bridge by train. All right, let's check it out.
At about 1:30, container ship struck the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which I've been over many, many times commuting from the state of Delaware either on a train or by car. At about 1:30, container ship struck the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which I've been over many, many times commuting from the state of Delaware either on a train or by car.
So, really? Is that what you did? And I don't think you would go that way to go from Delaware. Well, you might go the way to go to Delaware. Maybe. But you didn't go over this Francis Scott Key Bridge by train because there are no rail lines on the Key Bridge. It's just cars and that's it. There's no rail on the Key Bridge. All right. So that's your man, Joe Biden. Again, 81 million votes. If that's the case, I can't tell. I cannot tell. All right. Let's see if I can pull up a map in a minute. Yeah, let's get a map going on. Let's get a map so we can see some things. Actually, I need a better. Yeah, I need a better map to see what's going on. Yeah, I'm going to go to Bing. I'll give me a minute. I'm going to go to Bing and pull up a map. And I'm going to show you kind of what's going on. All right. So, yeah, this is perfect. Perfect. Here we go. So let's check this out. And then I'm going to show you guys what's happening. Okay. So we're going to just zoom out a little bit first. So what you have here, this body of water right in the center of the screen, that's Chesapeake Bay. All that is the bay. And you can see it goes all the way up. Delaware is right here. So he lived up here by Philly. Philly's right here. This is like the Philly metro area. And over here, this is like Wilmington, where Biden is from. So he probably would go that way in his vehicle. You know, you could come down that way. If you just want to bypass some of Baltimore, you can go out this way. And that's where Dundalk, Maryland, it's like an unincorporated place, but it's basically Baltimore. Baltimore's right there. And you can see this is the Key Bridge right here. And there's a port right here. You see all of this? Can I turn on satellite right here or nah? So you can see all the cars and stuff right here on the port. You can see how big this is. So what'll happen is you'll have, look, all of this right here. All this is a port. You'll have a bunch of trucks and whatnot load up or offload the ships. And you see one right there being loaded. You can see how big it is. You can see you have regular vehicles, even pretty big vehicles next to the actual ship. And you see how big it is. A helipad right there on top. You see how big these ships are. Now, what'll happen is it'll come out from the berth. You have tugboats to pull it off the berth, and then they get into a shipping lane. You have lanes that are kind of dredged in the water, and they're designed to go up under this bridge. You see? That bridge is kind of not really blocking, but it's spanning this part of the water. So in order to get from this port in Dundalk, you got to go through or under the bridge. Now, normally that happens with no problem. It's not an issue. There's no problem. But the bridge crashed like right around right there and knocked, well, the ship crashed and knocked the bridge into the water. So now that whole lane of traffic, that's all going to be done. And you can see that's a pretty important way. That's a pretty important lane. And a lot of that was it'll transport hazardous materials because you're not going through Baltimore proper. You're not going straight 95. You're going 695. So now, how are you going to transport hazardous materials without going straight through Baltimore and countering all the traffic? One thing about a lot of trucks and traffic, as you don't know, a lot of times they're not permitted to go through city areas. One thing about Atlanta specifically is that the trucks are not allowed to go through the city. They got to take the 285 bypass and not go through 75, 85. They're not permitted to go that way. Same thing, Baltimore. Hazardous materials, fuel, they got to go around. They can't go. Then you're also going to have hazardous materials coming from the port. So now you got an issue. Let's go back to the map right quick. Now you got to have an issue. So rather than materials coming from Dundalk, Baltimore, or whatever, they probably got to go down past the bay. Another bridge right there. It's the same kind of thing. Probably a drawbridge or a high rise right there, because you got to come that way to come through the bay. And then you got Tangier Island up in here somewhere. Anyway, you coming down to Virginia, and here is the Bay Bridge Tunnel. That's 20 miles of tunnel. I think it's 2 tunnels and bridges that span 20 miles from the eastern shore of Virginia to Virginia Beach. So now what'll happen is ships usually come in this way from the Atlantic, just straight up ocean. They come in this way from the Atlantic, and they will come up the bay and then go to Dundalk and drop off, load, or whatever. Now what's going to happen is they're going to come to Norfolk. Norfolk already said they're going to extend their hand to them and let them dock and offload right there. Now, let me show you guys where they're going to go. They probably go straight to, what's that? You guys might know if you're from Norfolk. That's probably like Larchmont right there, the shipyard right here. You can see it. All right, hold on. You see all the rail right there? And you see ships right here too. And then also in Portsmouth, it's another one over here. There's a shipyard right there. Kind of a smaller one, but a shipyard right there too. This is Craney Island, which is a military waste. And you can see something's blocked out, right? That's a it's not blocked out. That's it's like a waste pond. But anyway, they're gonna come this way rather than going up through Baltimore. But it's going to cause a traffic jam, in my opinion, because it's already quite a bit of traffic coming through there already. All right. And also, there's more right here. So they might use some of these shipyards to load and offload. All right. But it's kind of a narrower way to go. You can come this way, but now you're going to come through the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel and then HRBT. You come that way. So we'll see what's going to happen. It's going to slow down because that area was already kind of built up and it was used for a particular reason. Not only the port traffic, but also the driving traffic, the vehicles. That's going to be a problem because that whole bridge is collapsed. 695 is done. So now you got to go 95 through Baltimore. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. Dual said, was a ship leaving the dock or coming in from the south? It was leaving the dock. So you had 2 tugboats that took it off the berth in Dundalk, and it was exiting. It was leaving. It was going out through the bay, and it was headed to Sri Lanka, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was headed across. It was headed down the East Coast to the Panama Canal, and then out west to Asia. That's where it was going to go. They recovered some of the bodies. I think there were 2 people found in the pickup truck. They recovered them. There was one person who was found alive and was injured. Another guy was alive and he was fine. He didn't want to go to the hospital. But I think there are 6 more who are presumed dead. All Hispanic, by the way. Just by the way. And the reason why I say that they were all Hispanic is because they're going to use that as a way to push for illegal immigration and amnesty. I know how they're going to do. Look, mark my words. They're going to push that forward, and they're going to say these brave Hispanic men from Guatemala and Mexico, they were brave and they were doing jobs as Americans, and they should be treated as Americans. All I know what they're going to do, they're going to use what they say, never let a good tragedy go to waste. That's what they're going to say. Mark my words. Mark it. You heard it here first, but you already knew that. You guys already knew that. Anyway, let's get to some more about the actual bridge collapse. Here is a Governor Westmore. All right, and RIP to the headphone users. Sorry for the loud noise.
Huge economic impact for the country. And that's why I think when we've seen how the entire country has rallied around Maryland and rallied around Baltimore, it's because they understand that the Port of Baltimore is not just impacting Maryland. If you look at this, this port is responsible for over 51 million tons of foreign cargo. That's the largest in the country. That for everybody who is buying cars, for everybody who is buying farm equipment, we're the largest port in the country that does that. So this is not just impacting Maryland. This is impacting that farmer in Kentucky. It's impacting that auto dealer in Michigan. And so it is imperative that we get this bridge rebuilt. It's imperative that we get the Port of Baltimore back up and going. And it's not just about how are we supporting Maryland. This is about how we're supporting the American economy.
So yeah, that's what's happening right there. That's the Governor of Maryland, Westmore. All right. And we're going to keep on rocking and rolling here. We got a few more things to get into. All right. And here's, I just said it. Okay. Here is CBS saying they were fathers, husbands, and hardworking men. Here's what we know so far about the construction workers presumed dead in the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse in Baltimore. All right. So these are the guys that they think are dead because they have not been able to find them. And it says the men were working for Bronner Builders, filling potholes on the center span of the bridge when they collapsed. One of the missing from El Salvador, Miguel Luna. He is a husband, a father of 3, and has called Maryland home for 19 years. What that mean? What does that mean? You guys let me know what that means, huh? Because look, check it out. He's from El Salvador, but he called Maryland home for 19 years. What that mean? Didn't I tell you they were going to do it? Anyway, a Honduran citizen, Maynard Yasir Suazo Sandoval, is also missing, Honduras Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister said. The official said he had been in contact with Suazo's family. The Guatemalan Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed 2 of the men were from Guatemala. Two citizens from Mexico are also among the missing, the country's president said. An employee at Banner Builders said all of the missing workers were in their 30s and 40s with spouses and children. They were all humble, hardworking men. 2 other workers, including Mexican national, were rescued from the water. No U.S. citizens. Nope. Not that I know of. Everybody's Hispanic, speaking Spanish, from what I'm able to see. I don't see anybody else. All right, so that's what's happening. Again, the workers that were on the bridge who fell into the water, they were fixing potholes in the bridge. And they probably had one lane closed off or a section closed off on the bridge to do that work. That's pretty much how they do it. Okay, so we got the poll up here. I put it up a little while ago. We have about almost 400 votes. We're closing in on 400 votes. We got about 370 votes right now. And the question is your opinion on the Key Bridge in Baltimore. Accident or done on purpose? I'm going to close it up in a minute and give the actual the tally here. But first, let's look at this particular video, an aerial shot of what's happening. Let's turn that sound off. But you can see the scope of this. All right, you can see how big you know how big a bridge is. I think the bridge might have had 2 lanes on both sides of traffic, so 4-lane bridge. And you can see the bridge is just chilling on top of the ship, just right in front of it. So the size is crazy. It's a crazy size. All right. So let's go ahead and end the poll here. We got 391 votes. When it gets to 400, I'll end it. 400 votes, I end the poll, and we'll keep on going here. Let's talk about. Well, there was an explosion after the actual crash. There was an explosion, and how did that happen? I don't know. Let's see a little bit here.
Me to ask a couple of questions, and I think the first one is what we witnessed on the video with that ship losing power right before it made impact with the bridge is under the current administration they've required low emission fuels, low sulfur fuels to be used within the 200 nautical miles of the U.S. coast. And what you're seeing now is in that fuel switching process that these engines are having trouble managing that fuel switching process, and that's causing propulsion and steerage issues. Now, this would not be during the fuel switching stage in the Baltimore Inner Harbor, but those low sulfur fuels also provide a challenge for engines when performing maneuvers and navigating. So I think there'll be a lot to investigate, and there are some telltale signs with the smoke coming out of the stack of the vessel shortly before it impacted the bridge. Let me to ask a couple.
All right. So that's that. That's what's happening, you know, and we're going to see what's going on. Somebody said that was an old video. I mean, it could have been an old video, but there was an explosion that we saw. All right, let's I want to find the video of the actual crash itself. It's kind of important to get to. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, let me find the actual crash. Yeah, here we go. All right, y'all give me a second to get it queued up. Now, as you can see, there's traffic going back and forth on the bridge as the ship approaches the bridge. See, there's traffic. It's not a lot of traffic because it's like 1:30 in the morning. So luckily, it wasn't rush hour, middle of the daytime with a lot of traffic on the bridge. All right, and hold on, let's go back a little bit. Let's go back because I gotta. So as the bridge approaches, the lights go out. So at that point, as the ship approaches, lights go out. The ship lost power, and then it's still going. And at this point, it's like a slow missile because it can't maneuver. It can't really control itself. They might have tried to drop the anchor. They can't really do too much to stop it from going forward because it's so heavy. It's already going, but without the power, they can't control it. They can't control where it goes. So now we got a situation. Okay. And at a certain point, the power comes back on and you see there's a plume of smoke. Now, people are saying that the plume of smoke is because they're trying to re-engage the engine. They're dropping the diesel. If you guys know about that, let me know in the comments. But I think at this point, they're trying to make evasive maneuvers. But it's hard to make evasive maneuvers and a ship of this size and weight. It's just not very easy to do. And as you can see, it's kind of like turning. It's like twisting. At that point, they probably already dropped anchor, but it's not working. It was already going a certain speed. It was already going kind of fast. There was some issues. And then now it's just brace for impact. And as you can see, there's traffic on the bridge. And then it's still kind of going. And you're going to see at a certain point collide with the bridge. And it's just, there's no amount of infrastructure reinforcement that would have prevented the bridge from collapsing. People say that we got bad infrastructure. No. This was just a bridge being hit by a gigantic ship that weighed a lot. That was just it. Physics came into play here. That's all. And then the bridge collapsed. Now, some are going to say about the tugboats. The tugboats, they're not going to be there throughout the entire Chesapeake Bay. All they're going to do is get the ship off the berth in Dundalk at the port. They'll get it off the actual berth and get it into the lane. At that point, it's on its own because there's more bridges and tunnels. Like you got to go through a bridge further south, way further south, then the bridge in Virginia Beach, the CBBT. You got to go through that. There's like at least 2 to 3 more bridges you got to get through. Bridges, tunnels, all of that. There's still more beyond Dundalk. So at a certain point, you're on your own. But yeah. Now, was it a cyber attack? I'm going to end the poll right here. We have 443 votes. And the results, the question was your opinion on the Key Bridge in Baltimore. Okay, 43% says accident. 56% says done on purpose. Okay, 56% done on purpose. 43% it was an accident. I say it was an accident, but the majority of you guys disagree with me, and that's fine. I understand. I understand. I get it. I understand why you would think that way, but I still think the way I think. All right. But yeah, that's just what it is. I mean, that amount of size, that amount of weight hitting the structure, I mean, there's not much. There was no other outcome possible for that. It's just, listen, if it was like a regular boat that hit the bridge, it would have done nothing. But a ship like that, nah. And watch it a little bit from the outside. You're going to see a more zoomed out picture. And that was pretty much it. I mean, some are going to say, why did the second support fall? Well, look, once the whole thing comes apart, it comes apart and it's over. All right. So that's that. That's what's happening with the Key Bridge in Baltimore. It's going to be a while before they're able to rebuild. They're talking about it could be months, years. I mean, years, I don't think so. I hope not. I hope they can rebuild that bridge pretty soon. But the main thing is getting that port cleared out. Getting the port cleared out and dredge and all that kind of stuff is more important, in my opinion, than getting the bridge back up. Because you got ships that are trapped in there, and you can't have any ships come in. So they got to clear a way for ships to leave. You got to clear a way for ships to leave. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But again, that's out there in Baltimore, Maryland, Dundalk. Now, let's talk about Puff right quick. I know I got limited time. Let's talk about Puff right quick, shall we? Puff Daddy, Diddy. This guy, music industry, quote unquote, mogul, rapper, singer, not really a singer, a dancer, record label. He's probably most well known for being a record label executive. Bad Boy Records, he had Biggie Smalls. Who else he had? He had Total, Mace, 112, a lot of these groups in the 90s. He had that show, Making the Band. Remember that? On MTV, I believe that was. Danny T. Kane came from that. There was quite a few people that came from the Bad Boy tree. Young Jock at one point was on Bad Boy. So he had a record label, basically. That was his main thing, claim to fame. He's a very, very rich guy. He has 2 estates, one in Los Angeles, one in Miami, Star Island. He probably has more homes than that, but those are the main 2 that got raided. 2 homes got raided simultaneously by HSI, Homeland Security investigation. I think the federales are out there. The FBI might have been out there as well. Local police were out there. It was a mess. His sons got detained briefly because they were doing a search. And I think just as procedure, they're going to detain anybody in the house for security purposes. Now, Puff has been the center of controversy lately because of a bunch of lawsuits. One lawsuit came out last year from his ex-girlfriend, Cassie. They did it from 2005, 2018. And she sued him talking about there was years of abuse and trauma and drugs and all kind of stuff, right? The lawsuit was for a rumored $30 million. At first, he was trying to buck and say, we're not going to pay, all this and that and the third. But then when the details of the lawsuit came out and all kind of stuff was alleged, he paid the lawsuit within 24 to 48 hours. Boom, settled it, and it was over. But that wasn't the end. That lawsuit and the settlement sparked an avalanche of other lawsuits. And the one main thing you got to understand, Puff was caught up in the New York Survivors Act law, the law that said you have a 1-year window to file a lawsuit with no respect to statute of limitations. Just civil lawsuits, no criminal activity. Trump got caught up under that. Now Puff got caught up under that. Cassie filed her lawsuit, got a big settlement. There were 2 more women that came out and said that Puff had assaulted them in the early 90s by drug game, Bill Cosby style. There were also men who came out and said that Puff assaulted them sexually, going all the way back to his college days at Howard in Washington, D.C. There's been quite a lot alleged about Puff. Some say that Puff is like the black Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know about that because, number one, I don't know about no island off the coast. Number two, I don't know about him dealing with underage people, except for the rumors of Justin Bieber and Usher, but that's not really part of this case. So boom, here we are. You have 2 houses raided by Homeland Security. And has Puff been arrested? I'm not sure. Some say that Puff got arrested. Some say they don't know where he is. They're trying to find his plane, all this, that, and the third. Some said that his drug mule got arrested in Miami because he was trying to move cocaine on a private plane. I don't know. But what I do know is that he did get his homes raided in LA and Miami, Florida. So here's something that Cat Williams said about Puff and all that kind of thing going on. Let's just check this out right quick, shall we? All right. And here we go.
I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no.
I mean, these things have been said about Puff for a long time with these crazy parties. Also, Jamie Foxx with the parties, but not quite on the level of a Puff. He's been known for these crazy parties that you don't really want to go to unless you want to do something strange. Okay? Him and a guy named Meek Mill were really well known. And Meek Mill might be part of this. Meek Mill and Puff had matching outfits. It's all kind of weird stuff going on in Hollywood. And I think that, you know what I think? I think that Puff is the 2024, or not even 2024. I think Puff is the modern version of Bill Cosby. That's what I think that he is. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm right or wrong or whatever, but that's my opinion. The same way that Bill Cosby was out here doing what he was doing with the roofies or whatever he had, the Spanish fly, all that, I think it's the same thing with Puff. So check it out. This is Puff on the right-hand side with Meek Mill, another rapper, on the left-hand side, and some random little person, like in between them, Oreo style. What's going on with this? Why is Puff Daddy and Meek Mill, why are they wearing matching outfits? And why is this random white little person, I guess you would say, wedged in between them? What's going on here? I don't understand. What is this? What is this? There's so much going on. So we talking about Puff Daddy being accused of assaulting men. I mean, it's not necessarily beyond the pale. It's not really just something that's totally outlandish to say that maybe he did something like that. I'm not saying he did it. I'm just saying if it came back that he did it, it wouldn't really be a big shock to me necessarily. And there's other guys involved. And you got to ask yourself, okay, you want to be a rapper? You want to be famous? What do you want to do to be famous? What are you willing to, how much are you willing to compromise yourself for fame? What are you going to do, Meek Mill? When you go with these white guys, right? And Meek Mill is one of these blacks, right? That's Meek Mill. a justice reform advocate. That's him. Now, when you get told to bunny hop by some rich white guys and you do it, okay, when you get told to do that, I'm just wondering why you would do that. Like, what's really going on? Okay, shout out to Dom Luker for reposting this. All right, so the same guy we just saw with Puff Daddy with the matching outfits, this is him right here.
Why are you doing bunny hops, Meek? Because you got your ass beat in tennis. You got your ass beat. Keep going. Count out loud.
That's the wrong time. Nigga.
Count out loud.
30.
Can't, huh?
4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 41.
I'm not doing no bunny hops for nobody, and you're not going to record it either. You're not going to record it because it ain't going to happen. But these are the so-called hard. And this guy, Meek Mill, gangster rapper, I'll shoot you in the head, blah, 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 blah. But then when I go with the white guys on the tennis court and I lose, I'm going to do bunny hops for them. I'm going to be dressed up in matching outfits of Puff Daddy with this little white midget in front of us, in between us and right there in my groin area. So the things that you may see on television, the image that you might see on television, it's not real. It's not real. It's all fake. And guys, when you get to a certain level of fame, you do stuff like this to maintain your fame.
1, 2, keep going. Keep going.
7, 8, 9, 1, 2,
keep going. Keep going. Don't.
Now, call ABL whatever you want to call ABL, but you would never in your life see me doing anything like that. Never in your life will you ever see me doing anything like that. Ever. I can guarantee you. Hand to God, you're never going to see it. I'm not going to do it. All right. So that's what's going on. But we're going to keep on going with the whole thing with Puff Daddy.
On scene here that we're getting this information from. We were actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on
Now, this was his LA home being raided, and you got guys being taken out in handcuffs. You got HSI, federales, all of that. And look, I'm not saying Puff did or didn't do what they're accusing him of or what he may be accused of, because as of right now, we assume that it's going to be a thing that's linked to sex trafficking. That's what we assume. I'm not going to say he did or didn't do it because there's no charges yet as far as I know. This is just an investigation. But look, if the feds boot your door, you did it. If the feds boot your door, you did it for the most part. A 98% conviction rate. If they're going to boot your door, they got enough already. They already know what's going on. The reason why they raided his Star Island home and the LA Homeby Hills home at the same time, like at the same exact time, is because they already got him, in my opinion. When the feds come knocking, the case is already done. They are not going to spend resources, time, energy on a case that'll go nowhere. They have no interest in harassing you. Maybe your local podunk people might do it if they don't like you. Okay, you and this guy went to high school together. He don't like you. The feds don't operate like that. When they come to get you, it's a wrap for the most part. It's very rare for you to ever be the Fed case because when they bring a case, it's already done. And they have access to a lot of different ways to surveil you. You know, the TikTok thing, in my opinion, is kind of a red herring because the federales can surveil you in a variety of ways. So you think that somebody told on you, we got a mole, we got a rat. The only reason why the feds need you to rat is because they might want you to save yourself. Okay, you want to get a little bit of time off your sentence? Tell on somebody. They don't really need you to do it, but okay, go ahead. Tell, be a snitch, be a rat, and we'll give you some time off. Make our job easier.
scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra, I would say, less than 10 minutes ago. We got here even before the crime scene tape came up. So we're just down the hill. If you look up this street where Tony is right now to the right, you'll see one of those Bearcats, and law enforcement. And on the other side of those bushes, basically, is that home that is registered to Bad Boy Films, which is part of Bad Boy Entertainment. And the home in particular is registered not only to Bad Boy Films, but to one of P. Diddy's daughters.
They are heavily armed, and they've been very tactful, would probably be the best word to use, as they made.
That's a very interesting statue right there. Do you see what I see? Left-hand side of the screen. Very interesting, Puff.
Entry into this home this afternoon. We actually watched them as they made their way through one of these.
Very big estate. Is that green? Is that a green estate? Well, I'm seeing very nice. I'm seeing very nice. What do they call that? I don't know what I'm talking about. Landscaping. Very nice landscaping. You have green landscaping, but what about the actual carbon footprint? Is that green, Puff? I don't know about that.
Side gates, and as soon as they got inside the home, one of the first things they did was made their way into this garage that you see is open right there. Now, they did take a couple people into custody. We witnessed that. Now, are they under arrest? Are they just being asked about what they know? That I can't answer, but I can tell you there's 3 people right there that were taken into custody.
Now, what I was hearing and reading was that they normally do this when they are raiding the house. If anybody's in there, they get everybody out, detain them briefly while they do the search, just so it's just for security purposes. It's not really to arrest them. They're not necessarily under arrest. You know, I think the main guy they want to get is not here.
They were inside that home at the time of the raid.
We did see a bunch of investigators going in.
Wow, look at that estate, though. I mean, look how sprawling. I mean, you got like this whole, like, what is that right there? This little area. He probably has a bunch of parties right there in that particular part of the estate. I know his neighbors might be kind of glad that he's getting arrested, because I'm sure there's been quite a few parties out here in this area that have been a little bit too loud.
Investigators going in, making the raid in there and clearing that as well. So they're going to do a thorough search as they conduct this raid. And so far, Stu, from what I understand and from Haley on the ground there, they have not seen, and we have not seen from our vantage point, any sign of Sean Combs, the 54-year-old who is believed to be the property owner of this.
So there we go. Shout out to TMZ. No copyright coming on that one. But yeah. So, do you guys think Puff is going to get locked up? Is it going to be? Is it over with? Is it done? What's going on?
On Star Island.
Now, here's the Star Island one, because remember, he has 2 states that they raided at the same time. Here's Star Island.
7 news cameras captured officials hauling off boxes of evidence. Canines were brought onto the property, and his front gate appeared damaged. A representative for Combs did not.
Look at this gate. So look, if they're booting your gate down and they're opening your safes, I mean, they got you, man. Like, I don't know what he did specifically, but whatever he did it, in my opinion. I think for them to do all this, they already got you.
His front gate appeared damaged. A representative for Combs did not immediately provide a comment. And despite hours of bi-coastal raids at his houses, there was no sign Monday of one of the most recognizable faces in the entertainment industry.
So there we go. That's Puff Daddy getting raided in Miami, getting raided in Los Angeles. And yeah, I think it's all connected to allegations of sex trafficking. That's the main thing. That lawsuit that they had against him from Cassie was crazy. The things that she was alleging in there were out of this world. Okay. I know I'm kind of over my time here. Let's get to a few calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. First things first, get to a few super chats, and then I'm going to get to the calls. All right. Shout out to SA, who says respect. Shout out to Apple Blocker, All Puff Daddy, who says ABL thoughts on illegal aliens who are squatters. Hey, man. Squatters, whether you be illegal, I mean, squatting in my house is the problem. It don't even really matter. But definitely illegal alien squatting, that's like another level of disrespect. But yeah, I don't think squatters should have any kind of rights. If you home invade, like I said, I am all about peace, all about love, right? But if you cross that threshold into my home, you're doing something else. I don't really believe in the word squatter, I think that they are a home invader. And last I checked, if you are a home invader, you can be dealt with a little bit differently. But I'm not making a threat. I'm just saying that's what I thought. That's what I was told. Anyway, Apple also says don't go on vacay because squatters are going to claim a home. And I bet you they won't. Apple also says deep state overkill raid on P. Diddy and P. Diddy crib, my humble opinion. Also, he says, what's word on the street on TikTok squatter enabler? I don't know. I've not heard too much about the guy since his account was disabled. Thank you to Apple again, who says Jon Stewart overvalued his home 800%. Hypocrite. I saw that. I saw that. I mean, and the thing is, how does anyone really determine if you overvalue your house or not? Who's to say? Like, I could say my house is worth whatever I want. It's a matter of people agreeing with me or not. Hold on. Here's what I want to show you right quick. Here's the Jon Stewart situation. All right. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, this is on New York Post. And it says Jon Stewart benefited by 829% overvalue, quote unquote, of his New York City home, even as he labels Trump's civil case not victimless. So dumb. So dumb. There's no way to determine that. Listen, if I say my house is worth X and somebody agrees, whether it be the bank, whether it be a buyer, that's what it's worth. It's not a crime to say that your house is worth a thing that you think is worth. Anyway, shout out to Apple again, who says President Biden took train over that Baltimore bridge. He sure did not. He also says, is President Biden addicted to lying or delusional? Maybe a combination of both. Apple also says Baltimore bridge disaster. Are we headed to idiocracy? I don't know about that. I think it was just an accident. I don't know about that crew. I don't know where they were from. I think it was just an accident. I mean, accidents happen. Rarely do they happen like that, but they do happen. I think that's what it was, in my opinion. Thank you to Tony Hay Muskets, who says, watching for years, 2 months in chat. Love it. Shout out to you. I definitely appreciate you, boss. And thank you for gifting 5 ABL memberships. I appreciate you for that one. Thank you to Adam Lipinski, who says, ABL, did you see Stephen A. Smith talking about lawfare against Trump or DeSantis' new squatter law in Florida? Thoughts? I did see the whole lawfare thing and also the squatter law. I'm going to go ahead and try to find that for tomorrow. Maybe probably do that tomorrow in the video. DeSantis squatter law. Let me see if I could just... yeah, that's great, though. So Governor DeSantis signs law that allows squatters to be immediately evicted. Now, the only thing with that is you're going to have landlords that might try to abuse it because you have actual tenants with a lease. My thing is, look, if there's a lease, okay, check it out. Here's what I would do. Any kind of lease, I would have some kind of lawyer or something present, be like, okay, here's a lease that's signed, or some kind of system you can get into. Let's put it into a system. The lease is right here. We signed it. It's all good. Bada bing, bada boom. Nobody can really question whether the lease is signed or not. Okay, if there's ever any kind of problem, you can go to court and pull up a record. I have a lease. It's right there. We had a witness that saw me sign it. The landlord was right there. All this squatter nonsense, they allege they have a lease, but they don't have a lease. They lie and say things like that. So, yeah, that's a good law. I want to see how it's going to actually be implemented. That's my next question. But I'll do that video tomorrow. Also, shout out to Robert Out of Reason, who says they even have a rain tax where you pay based on how much water runs off your property. Thank you to Lothair, who says Stephen Carter has personality of a serial killer. Am I right? I don't know about all that. I want to say all that. I ain't gonna put. I'm not a big Carter fan, but I ain't gonna say all that now. Thank you to Bobcat MIT, who says this was the result of water in the fuel oil. It has happened to me and AV a few times. Oh, well, there it is. Rebel Way Out of Reason says, in order to build back better, you have to destroy it first. Thank you to Lothair again, who says, I think the bridge collapse was on purpose, but I think it could be a possibility of a cyber attack from China. Just a theory. Thank you to Mazza036, who says, hey, ABL, Great Britain flag, any room for me over there? Rough here. Hey, man, I know it's tough times over there in the Kingdom of Great Britain, man. Come on over to the USA as long as you're not going to be acting the fool like the rest of the migrants. Executive Matthew says, I went to a Puff White Perry party wearing all black. Hilarious. You were the devil at the party as the white man. But anyway, shout out to you guys for being here. Most certainly appreciate you. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And there's also an email in the description box if you want to call in that way. If it's not working right, don't blame me. Blame the white man because it ain't my fault. All right, let's get to the calls here. Francis says, when you rent an apartment or a house, you always sign a lease with the landlord. Yeah, I understand, but there needs to be a way to prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt. The squatters say they sign leases, but they don't sign leases. Let's have a system where the lease is in there and everybody knows it's in there and there's no problem. Like a background check to buy a gun. Anyway, let's keep on rocking.
Anthony, what's good?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
I'll wait for your audio.
All right. It should be good in a minute. So I fixed it.
You do a good job holding it down over there.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, maybe Puff Daddy was squatting in those big old mansions and they wanted to get him out of there. You know, there's been a big uptick, if you've noticed in the news lately, of the FBI kind of cracking down on all these PEDOs and the traffickers and stuff like that. And I think what's going on is, number one, Joe Biden took all those FBI agents off of those cases to go after J6 people. According to those whistleblowers, they said, hey, we were told to put down all of our human trafficking stuff and to go after January 6 people. And I think they're probably, now they got a backlog of all that stuff, and they'll be like, well, we can go get P. Diddy now that grandma got arrested. We can go after him.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. So now, I mean, these cases have been just sitting there like, okay, let's go ahead and do it. Okay, yep. Puff Daddy. Next.
Yep, they're basically going back to that. So I just got back from an aviation conference, like where we did a bunch of aviation security stuff, and GPS spoofing was like a big thing. So we're all trying to address like the fact that all these new like software-defined radios can come and spoof a GPS and then make it look like you're flying in a completely different spot than what you actually are. So it fools all your avionics. And there's been instances of business jets and stuff like that almost flown right into a mountain because they're just coupled to the GPS. And I'm not a mariner. I'm not into all that. And I've looked at that video pretty close. I think if anything, it's not like a cyber attack. I think if anything could have steered it wrong, it would have been a GPS spoofing. But just in my lay opinion of maritime stuff, if you look at that video, it looks like he steered right into that pylon. Is that what you think too? Did you see that?
What I saw is they lost power, and then he was trying to, when he had the power, he was going one way. And when the power got lost, he went a different way. And when the power got lost, he dropped the anchor. When he did that, now the momentum of the ship turned it.
Yeah, my theory is that the steering worked the whole time, and that they had left rudder to steer away from. So they were going port. They were going towards the center of the bridge. And when they got power back on, they had full reverse thrust. And when you have left rudder and full reverse thrust, you actually do a right-hand turn. I think that's what happened. So when the power came back on, you saw the smoke. I think there's something to do with like the low carbon, low sulfur. There's a maritime oil that they burn that's just disgusting. So they don't burn that at the ports. But it looked like it was still running on that high sulfur fuel. And when they got the power on, it looked like it was. It looks like the person doing the steering, the person doing the power setting, didn't weren't coordinated to me. So they made a right-hand turn, but they had left rudder because it was reverse thrust. But yeah, it looked like an accident. It looked like poor seamanship to me. Actually, maybe they were asleep at the wheel, and if it was cyber attack, I think everybody's got to start paying attention to GPS spoofing because that's a big vulnerability in areas like that.
Oh, definitely. I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah, that's all I got for you, man. It's a great show.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Take it easy.
And these cyber attacks are getting crazy, getting really crazy and really dangerous. So that's a thing. GPS spoofing. Be aware. 859, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, ABL, how's it going, bud? Hold on a second. Let me go to the other room real quick, man. Ooh. Hey, I have a question for you, man. I know. It's off the wall question right here. My question is, what's your favorite Mortal Kombat character? I gotta know.
Liu Kang.
Awesome. I like Nightwolf because it's like never think in my lifetime. It's like, hey, Native American Mortal Kombat character. You know?
See, look, I know it's been like about 1,000 Mortal Kombat games, but I don't count anybody that was not in the first one. The first Mortal Kombat, if you weren't in that one, I don't count you.
Oh, okay. You're kind of, yeah. I don't know. I like Armageddon. I like the concept of make your own Mortal Kombat character. I like the whole storyline behind it. You know, I'm like a to me early 2000s, PlayStation 2 kind of kid. You know.
Right. Okay, I got you.
Okay, perfect video game night. Okay, pick a video game, a food, and soundtrack.
Okay, so we could do Call of Duty, and then
hell yeah,
that's multiplayer, real easy, in and out, food, boxes of pizza, and then what was the other thing?
Soundtrack, like
soundtrack, anything like for that kind of night. I don't know. You could do like matter of fact, Kanye's new album. How about that? That's what I like. that right there be right on point.
All right. To me, I would say GTA, Call of Duty. Of course, Call of Duty. I don't know. Actually, no. You already know what? Right, Call of Duty. Chinese food, right?
Okay.
And sushi. I love sushi. Gotta get some sushi in. And I would say a combination of like Rammstein, like heavy metal, and, a little bit of everything. I'm like, it's up in the air.
Right. There you go.
Okay. Also, I'm not big into anime, but I have to. What's your favorite anime?
My favorite anime, JoJo Bizarre Adventure. It's all you got to watch. That's all you need is. And really, I was not even an anime fan at all. Like I watched Dragon Ball, like every other kid watched Dragon Ball Z. But I didn't watch any anime as an adult until recently, and I got put on to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's all you need. You can watch that and be good.
I'm kind of into like Cowboy Bebop. Like I don't know, my generation is more like Toonami. That generation.
Okay.
I mean, Gundam Wing's pretty awesome. I mean, Dragon Ball Z is kind of typical. I mean, my personal opinion is like I said, Ghost in the Shell, Blood, stuff like that from like the early 2000s. I don't know why, but the newer stuff, I never really get into it.
Right. I'm with you.
Right on, man. Hey, man. Hey, thank you very much for the call, man. I was gonna say, hey, man, Uncle ABL, that show, man, I'm loving it. You gotta do a health one, man, like the 1 meal a day diet or the workouts and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to it, man.
I got you on that for sure. No problem.
All right, man. Hey, on the chat, say 420 if you're doing the 420 as well. See you later, ABL.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Mr. Fairman, good to hear you now. See you. Bye.
All right, shout out to man for the call. Most certainly appreciate it. Let's get to the next call here. Let's go for the line speaker to 407.
Hi, ABL. It's Cherise.
All right, Cherise, what's going on?
Okay, I have two questions for you. One, who is your most favorite person in the world? And two, if you had one dream to accomplish that you haven't yet, what would it be?
Okay, I got these real deep questions tonight. My absolute favorite person. So we talking about.
You have to answer them though.
Okay, so we talking about living or what?
Yeah, living.
My favorite person in the world. Living.
Your most favorite person in the world. Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Okay, they don't have to be living, but yeah, I was talking about living, but they don't have to be living.
Okay. I don't know. That's a good one. Probably my mother. Out of everybody that's living.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, what was the other question you had?
If you had one dream to accomplish that you haven't yet, what would it be?
One dream to accomplish that I haven't yet. To reach everybody, all the young kids like me when I was coming up that didn't have a direction necessarily, that was kind of lost, to reach all of them and to tell them, hey, you can go this way. Even if they don't abide by it, I want to reach them. I want to have that voice to where I can reach all of them and help them to get to a good place. So that's what I want to do. Just really have a big impact on young people.
Okay. All right. That's all I wanted to know. All right. Well, it's good to hear all your things, and I'm just gonna hang up now. Bye. Have a great night.
Thanks, Reese.
I
appreciate
enjoyed some
it.
of the show.
Thank you, Reese. I appreciate you.
Bye.
All right. I'm giving you just good questions tonight. My favorite person in the world and what I want to do. So yeah. All right. Shout out to you guys out here. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to. All right. And the phone lines are blowing up. 408, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, how you doing?
I'm well, man. How about yourself?
I'm good. Thanks for answering. Hey, so, I'm watching your show. I've been off and on for many years now with you. So you're gonna love this. I'm in Cali, and I know you love that state, right?
my favorite state in the whole country.
Yeah, I know. But I'm born and raised here, and I'll never leave. This is my home, if you understand what I mean. And I'm a total conservative, not even a Republican, probably more of a libertarian. And there's a lot of us out here. It's just we're about a third of the population. So I guess my point is I want to make sure you understand there's some good people in California for sure. Think like you, good people. All right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, I love your show. I love your content for the most part, but I think with your audience, I would love for you to be a little more on the activist side and start telling people that our country's in serious trouble and making them understand. The daily news stuff, I don't know. I think you could do better and reach a better audience. You're good at what you do, and I think people need to understand we're in trouble.
So what should I do that I'm not doing?
I don't know. Reach a better audience, and not a better audience, a bigger audience is what I mean to say. But more of the content, like making sure people understand how. And I understand you got content and you need to make money and you're doing what you got to do. I get it. But I just think you might have a big enough platform. I was with you when you had 300,000 subscribers, or now you're over 1 million, which is awesome. Awesome. Good for you. It's awesome. I just think that, I don't know, we need more people to speak out and tell the rest of us what's going on. You understand what's going on in many, many different facets with our governments, and especially here in California. My government is like the federal government here.
Okay, I hear you.
So I don't know.
I hear you.
So I don't know, but I just think you have the opportunity to do bigger than you're doing, to just reach a bigger audience and have a bigger message, because you understand what's up. Oh, yeah. ABL, I got to go. I'm going to let you go. You got a lot of callers. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, I need a bigger audience, man. 1 million ain't enough. Let's go. Let's just push the button on YouTube. Hey, let me get 10 million subs. Just push the button, beep, and let's do it that way. All right. Let's go to 424. You're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is Kelly Silverman calling from Los Angeles.
All righty. What's going on?
Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat, my lovely patriots. Real quick, ABL, I wanted to kind of mention something about the young lady who called in. I mean, she was on the show earlier. You played a clip of her, and they were going around asking people what did they think about the migrant situation, the illegals, and putting them in hotels. And she said something to the effect of, she said, you know how we got these big businesses? Because I quoted her. She said, we got big businesses, and they need to open up and pay for these rooms for these people because these people are trying to better themselves. She looked pretty young, and you know where she's getting that from? She's being indoctrinated with that in school because she sounds just like the 16, 17, 18, and 19-year-olds in my proximity here of Los Angeles. They all say the same thing, and they're getting that from their teachers, and they're getting that from, like, TikTok videos because I bet you her parents don't even know that she's being taught that. They don't even know that. Why? Because they're at work all day. So teenagers are really teaching themselves and raising themselves, and they're listening to liberal teachers, especially here in California. Because when I talk to the young people in my family, they'll be like, who are you getting that from? You're not getting it from our aunties and uncles. They'd be like, no, this is what they tell us at school. And so it's very important that if you don't have the money to homeschool your children, and so you can kind of gauge what they're being indoctrinated with, it's important to have conversations with them because this generation is looking for a handout, and they're raising them up to think that way. So I just kind of wanted to mention that.
Right on. It makes sense to me, for sure.
So I just, it's a real trip because we got a lot of teenagers here in Los Angeles and probably all over who are thinking this way. So, those are good talking points to have with your family this upcoming Easter Sunday when the teenagers gather around. So thank you for taking my call. I appreciate you.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Shout out to the call. Great call. And shout out to you guys for being here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. 504 on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. I have some things to talk about. And great callers, great show. And also, I'm curious, what do you think of the Ninja Turtles?
It was definitely... When I was a kid, the movies were great. The movies were the main thing that I watched. And then they had the animated series. Mm-hmm. This is like 80s, 90s. It was great back then. Ever since then, I'm not really sure. I don't know if they got new movies or new cartoons or whatever. But when I was a kid, it was like the best thing since Pants with Pockets, like right there with wrestling and everything else. It was a great movement at that time.
Right. I liked it too. In the 2000s, I remember down the street where I used to live before Hurricane Katrina, I got Raphael, the toy of that one from the cartoon, and I still have it today. I brought it with me, didn't get messed up, and I liked it too. And they did make new movies. I believe in 2006 I saw one last. They probably have still new versions of it, but I haven't seen it since like 2008 and stuff like that. But yes, I do agree. Very good show. And also about the ship crashing into the bridge, I think that it's very strange and it should be investigated. And it does seem like it was an accident, but at the same time, I was thinking, like when my aunt sent it to me, that it's possible the Chinese or somebody could have had something to do with it, maybe. And like with Singapore, from what I was seeing, they have something to do with TikTok, and I don't know if China's influencing those other Asian countries. That's down the rabbit hole. I don't really know that for sure. Or did they hack it and cause a malfunction? But it could have been an accident. But I do think that I would like to see some more information come out about it. And it's very unfortunate about the people that were lost.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And at the same time, it's a lot of cargo that went missing. And so the companies or whoever, they lost a lot of cargo.
Yeah, that's going to be a thing. A lot of cargo got lost on that ship, and then there's other ships that are stuck with cargo on it that can't get out, and there's other cargo that's in the port that can't move. So there's going to be an issue.
Absolutely. And also, I do agree that it's good that Ben Shapiro, did he answer the question how he answered it, and he didn't go on and on about it, whatever occurred. And I hope that people can have, they can have peace over this situation and everything goes well for, people on both sides. And, emotions are high right now with the Palestine-Israel thing. And I do hope that people don't let it divide them, because because that's what a lot of people would want us to be divided. And also, I agree with you with the Crowder situation, that I don't think he handled that well either.
Yeah, not very well at all.
Actually, I remember I was watching him on the presidential election of 2020, and that's how I found your channel.
Okay, very interesting.
Yeah, remember I saw you and I clicked on it, and since 4 years, and I watch your content, and I'm glad that I found you that way.
Well, I'm glad you did, man.
Yeah. And I also agree about the squatters. Again, these people are trying to be very manipulative, and they're trying to find clauses to manipulate the situation in their favor to be squatters. And it would be interesting to know where these people come from and why they're doing this. And I know the reasons why they want to do it. They want a free house. But yeah, that certainly is getting out of control.
Oh, ain't no question about it. Absolutely.
And also in New York, there's a lot of crime going on, and from what I'm seeing, and a lot of the malls and stuff are closing down. But the World Trade Center Mall, that one has its own police force in there, and the way it was designed, it's designed to keep people in there. So the design of the place and its own police force helps reduce the crime, because there's no crime in there at all.
Right.
Yeah. And the situation with Diddy, his trial has not happened yet, and the police are trying to see if they find anything in there. So we're going to have to wait and see how that trial goes, and that will be a very interesting thing for everybody to see.
Yeah, I want to see all the details. I'm just curious now. I'm kind of invested into it. I want to see exactly how this whole thing plays out. If he gets charged, what's going to happen? I want to just see how this whole thing ends.
Me too. Because it's innocent until proven guilty.
That's right.
All right. Okay, ABL, that's all I have to say. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right, great call. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. And by the way, about the first Turtles movie, do you guys know that Corey Feldman played Donatello? And Corey Feldman, one of the two Corys, did Corey Feldman did he die? I think, he's still living. The other Corey died, but he was one of the first people to come out and talk about the child abuse that was happening to children in Hollywood. So yeah, shout out to Corey Feldman, who played Donatello in the first Turtles movie back in 1990. Let's keep on going here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. All right. Caller, who am I speaking to? 479.
Hello, ABL. It's me, Darko. I'm calling from Serbia. I've been watching you for a long time now. And I just wanted to ask you about your opinion about Ben Shapiro, because I don't know if you watched his debate with Destiny.
No, I did not see that debate. We said with Destiny.
Yeah, literally, this guy is very liberal, on the extreme left side, and Ben Shapiro was agreeing with him on 70% of the topics. And after the Candace incident, and I think we should cancel Ben Shapiro, because when they asked him about why he canceled Candace, he won't comment. And I just want to hear about your opinion on Ben Shapiro and what he has been doing recently.
Okay, so two things. I don't know if Candace got canceled or fired. She might have just quit. She may have quit because she doesn't like what Ben Shapiro's doing. And my second thing is, I'm not a Ben Shapiro fan. he's a hypocrite a lot of times because he'll say things like one thing that really got me was when he said rap music sucks, it's not music. But then he went out and did a rap song and told everybody to go download it, make it #1. It's like, okay, well, look, what are we going to say? Are we going to say rap music is not music, or are we going to say it's music? What's going on? I think my man hung up. Yeah, he might have hung up, or it might have just cut. So shout out to my man from Serbia. I didn't hang up on you, boss. I was answering your question. But yeah, I'm not really a Ben Shapiro fan. It's just a lot of hypocritical stuff going on. Just really kind of liberal in a lot of his stances. Not really a big fan. And I'm glad that Candace Owens is off of Daily Wire. She can go do her own thing and be independent fully and not be answering to anybody. Do your own thing, Candace. Candace is a superstar. She can do whatever she wants. The only reason why she would go to a Daily Wire or Prager or Turning Point is because of the infrastructure and the financial backing to make her even bigger. But she can't really get much bigger than what she is. So do your own thing. I support her being independent 100%. Let's keep on going here. 615, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
What's up, man? It's Boatmauer. How you doing, man? It's been a while.
Been a while, man. How's everything?
It's good, man. How you doing, man? I see you shining. You out here. You got 2 channels going. I'm watching your Uncle ABL. You doing good, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, buddy. Hey, man, I wanted to comment on the whole. Man, I got like 3 comments to make. Number one, the whole ship thing. I believe it was planned. It looked to me like, man, look at it this way. You've been riding in and out of that port your whole career. So you're riding, and the next thing you know, the lights go out, and you're just going to head straight for this pylon or whatever you want to call it. So the lights go out, and then you're just going to throw the anchor because the lights go out. Oh, my God, let's throw the anchor real quick when it's right in front of your face. I saw the video on a loop, and dude just drove straight into it the whole time. To me, it was planned because Biden immediately said he's going to pay for it. Why is he going to pay for it when the tanker ship who hit it, their insurance company should be paying for it? Why you on TV immediately talking about what you're going to pay for? So I call that conspiracy all day. I say guilty, guilty, guilty. And to piggyback off of that guiltiness, I say that Puff Daddy is guilty, guilty, guilty too, because there's too many videos, there's too many people talking, and everybody's always got something to say about these Diddy parties, and I know you know what I'm talking about with these Diddy parties. Even Usher said it, that he used to party with Diddy when he was 13, and he was on the Howard Stern show, and he said, hey, I used to party with him, and I saw some crazy things. And then, what's her name? I can't think of her name that's on the Howard Stern show, but what's her name? She said,
Robin.
It ain't like you, what was her name? Robin, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
She said something like, oh, you, but you ain't never messed with no grown women, right? And then as soon as she said that, Usher said, hey, I never said that now. I never said I didn't mess with, and she was like, a grown woman? Oh, I ain't saying nothing. So, hey, man, come on, man. These people be freaky, and Hollywood is Holly weird. We already know. And so you really, what do you think about it? You think Puffy's guilty or innocent? What do you think?
I mean, I don't even know what they're going to try to charge him with, but I think that there's something going on because really for the feds to come get you or to even for the feds to come raid 2 of your houses at the same time, there's something going on. I don't know what, but it's something.
Did you hear that he was at the same time that they were doing that, he was at the airport trying to get in a private jet? And he was like, they said that he was in a private jet, man, trying to flee, trying to get to another country, man, where he can't get extradited. Do you think was that real or was that was that fake too? I don't know. Did you hear about that?
I saw something about that. I think he might have been in the airport. I don't know what was going on with that. Maybe he was trying to escape. I don't know, but that could have been going on because he realized, okay, they hit in my house. It's time to escape.
Yeah, and you got to think. You remember way back in the day, this is way back when we was young, when he was dating J-Lo, they were in a club, and J-Lo kept telling people that he was making her keep pistols in her purse, hiding in her purse, and they were in a club, and then next thing you know, here goes Shine. Boom, he pops some dude gets shot, Shine goes away, and then next thing you know, Here goes Biggie, boom, Biggie goes away. Next thing you know, boom, there goes Pac, Pac goes away. Hey, man, I ain't no conspiracy theorist, but hey, pour one out for the homies, I guess. I don't know. But, man, yeah. But that's all I got to say, man. Appreciate you, man. Hey, man, keep on shining, man. We're watching you, brother, for real. We love you, man. You're doing a really, really, really good job, and the Uncle ABL stuff is really good, man. Keep it up. I like the content. I like the you do a lot of different subjects that ain't nobody thinking about. So I don't know where you're taking this stuff from, but you take it and give your own personal flavor on it. And you're looking different too. You had the different hats on, you had the different outfits on. I'm digging it, man. I'm right behind you, man. Keep it going, man. We love you, dog. All right.
All right, man. Thank you for your call. Appreciate you.
All right, man. See you.
All right. Shout out to Boomhard for the call. Great call. But yeah, Puff Daddy, I don't know. It's gonna be some stuff. Oh, one thing about Shine, and just a little quick story about Puff and all that. Remember back in, what was it, early 2000s, 90s, probably 2000s, when Puff was dating Jennifer Lopez, and then there was the nightclub shooting, and Shine went to jail. Shine was a rapper that came about after Biggie and sounded like Biggie. Although he was not big, he had that real grovelly voice, the real deep voice. Anyway, so Shine goes to jail for 10 years. And one thing about Shine is that he was actually an illegal alien or something like that from Belize. So when he gets out, he goes back to Belize and becomes a politician. For real. Like, hold on. Let me see what he is right now. I think his name, Sean Barrow. Let me just look him up right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff that helped me out tremendously. Moses Michael Levi Barrow. Okay. Now, he is the Belize leader of the opposition. Okay. The Honorable Moses Shine Barrow. Yep. So now he's a politician in Belize. Okay. I think his dad was the prime minister. Like, it's crazy. So you see kind of how these things operate. You know, it's weird like that. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's go to, all righty. I'm going to pick it to 517.
Hey, this is Kevin. How are you? Is this ABL?
Yes, it is.
ABL, man, I'll tell you right now, I am so honored to be on your talk show, your little your program here. It's amazing. I have a couple things I just want to say. I think it's incredible to actually talk to you. I'm actually very nervous. I'll calm down, give me a second. But I just want to let you know, especially on the as a Christian. I'm a Christian. I've been a Christian born again in 2001. I think I just want to tell you, thank you for your service. Let me say this real quick before I go any further with what I'm saying. Thank you for your service. You are serving this country. You're serving these people. They have no idea how important it is for them to hear the truth and for someone to stand up and say it. As a Christian, it's been really hard for me when I know things that are true and I say them and people don't believe me. And I have to fight it day in and day out to continuously be. I know you guys don't believe me, but we have to do it. But anyway, I wanted to say something just real quick. I don't want to take up all your time, but I want to let you know, Candace, Owens, and Ben Shapiro. Let me tell you this right now. I think that overall, if we were to go to war tomorrow, Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro would fight for each other, and they would stand by each other's side. I think that we're getting a little bit caught up in microaggression battles, micro battles between people. And I think it's the most important thing to remember that, and I think it's not just that, but I wanted to say was, all Candace has to say but Ben Shapiro's, I think I would use the word, if I was going to make my own judgment on this, I think it's a very important thing to know that Candace Owens has a right as a Christian to state, you know, what she believes. There's no question. There's no question. But Ben Shapiro can always throw it in her face. And Christians, remember this. All Christians all around the world, remember this. We allowed, after 9/11, to attack Iraq and destroy the country for no reason at all. We allowed it. And I think that we all have to look back and say to ourselves, this is where Israel is getting their brutality from. Because it's true. Candace is right. We should be forgiving. But as Christians, we also have to be forgiving too. We can't, I bet you not one person did not stand on George W. Bush's side when he said he was going to attack Iraq. Not one Christian. So I challenge you Christians, next time when Ben Shapiro wants to fight and you have not, and you, this time you stand on the side of righteousness, then tell him. But I challenge you to stand on the side of righteousness.
Right on. Absolutely.
Yeah. But, ABL, I want to tell you right now, you are a voice to this generation. You have no idea, as a Christian, I'm 40 years old, you are a voice to people, a powerful voice. Whether you want to take it and go hand strong like Tatum does to the devil. I absolutely love Tatum, and Candace does to the devil, and many people do, like even I think Ben Shapiro does to the devil. But I think that you are a voice to this generation of truth and honest reporting.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
God bless you, sir. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Great call. Shout out to my man for the call. Fantastic. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go. 773, you're on the line. I'm speaking to.
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. Thanks for taking my call. ABL, you have a lot of great stories that you did this week. I thought that was a great job that you did. But there's something important that happened here in Chicago that I think everybody should really take heed of. And I'd love to have you go back and look at this story, ABL, and, you know, do a little thing on it if you would. This is from Fox News in Chicago, that in the Cook County state's attorney race, you know, in the primary, so the two Democrats, that's with Kim Fox's office and all that. So there's this Eileen O'Neill Burke and Clayton Harris are running for Cook County state's attorney. And they don't want to see Burke get in, even though they're Democrats, okay? One is stronger than the other, a little more conservative and whatnot, even though they're both Democrats. And the race came down to Burke had 255,000 votes, 255,010, and Harris had 239. So roughly 5,000 votes between them. Quite a close race. Give me just 1 second, ABL, because I rather quote it from the article, so there's no mistake. I don't want to paraphrase it, if I may. Chicago Board of Elections admits error, adds 10,659 votes to the unofficial account. Says wow. The Chicago Board of Elections announced a surge in counted votes on Saturday after its director of public information added to mistakenly leaving out additional ballots. An addition of 10,659 votes was added to the unofficial account, totaling 368,990 ballots cast in Chicago. It says there's a current citywide turnout of 1,500,000. Max Beaver, Director of Public Information, says he, quote, traded speed for accuracy and left out additional votes that ballots that were vote-by-mail ballots that were received back from the United States Postal Service Monday evening. Quote, In adding up the total number of votes by mail ballots the board had received back so far, I mistakenly left out additional ballots that had been received back through the United States Postal Service on the evening of Monday, March 18th, said Beaver. Quote, I traded speed for accuracy in reporting out numbers this week as quickly as I could. I truly regret this error on my part and for the confusion that it caused the voters of Chicago. I will share the updated numbers only when they are accurate and verified. And then, so here's what they're saying, ABL. So this Harris is down 5,000 votes to this Burke in the Cook County State's Attorney race. And suddenly, 10,659 votes. I traded speed for accuracy when counting up the votes, and I left out these votes that came through the United States Postal Service. They were postmarked, before the deadline was in, but I didn't see it until after. I didn't see these votes until after. So I'll get back to you on this mistake. Sorry about the mistake. But we'll count up these 10,659 mail-in votes, and then we're going to see who wins. Well, how does that work that suddenly all these mysterious votes that show up, 10,000 votes, that they all go for your person, and suddenly your person that was down 5,000 votes now gains, the 5,000 that she needs, and it adds another 5,000 to it. How does that happen? Here's the thing. This is local, ABL, but let's heed the warning here. I really believe that there is no way Biden can beat Trump. I don't think any Democrat can beat Trump. And I'm still not sure that Trump will fairly win because they're not going to play fair. They're not going to play fair, ABL. And this is what they'll do. They'll mess with the votes. They've tried many different ways. They'll try a little of everything, and a little of everything bring them over the hump. We really have to be careful of what's already happening. Chicago is kind of the litmus test here, and they're already starting. And then what will they say? Oh, Trump's a denier, just like we said. He's a big denier. Look at this. He wants to overthrow the government. He doesn't trust what the numbers say. Well, this is why we don't trust the numbers. Suddenly your mail-in votes, you just enough come in for your person to win. That article is from Fox News Chicago, ABL. Fox News Chicago. You can look it up. Just look up, mail-in votes or whatever. It should come up for you. It's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. I don't know what you think of that, ABL, but I think that's really important because even though this is a local race, this is the kind of things that they're going to do. And then good luck in proving them wrong. Look at the debate that we have. We know that Trump won that last election. He did. They cheated. That's what they did. They cheated. And, okay, your guy got in. All right, that's it. Can't go back in history. But to let them be able to do it again is a big mistake and very, very dangerous. I really think so, ABL. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I'd love to hear what you have to say on that topic, ABL. I really would. But I'll talk to you later. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
I appreciate it, ABL.
Yeah, that's pretty deep. These elections is, it's pretty deep. But like I say all the time, state to state, city to city, definitely got to take control of your elections locally. That's where it's going to matter. That's how we do elections. And in some parts of the country, they don't really care too much about the integrity of elections in certain parts of the country. Out here where I am, MAGA country, we definitely care about elections, paper ballots, IDs, all that good stuff. Hopefully it's the same way where you are. But that's pretty much all I got. Shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. This is also an audio podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. But that will be a wrap for me. I'll be back, same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. But I'm here every day putting out pre-recorded content, Sunday too. And of course, y'all check out Uncle ABL, the brand new channel. Shout out to you guys who've been watching that channel already. I really, really thank y'all for being there. I think tomorrow's video is going to be about the salary you need to purchase a home. Okay, I think I did a video about, what was the other video I did? It was about something about home ownership. Oh, I think it was, I'll be forgetting. There was one video I did about home ownership. I forget what it was. Let me see what that was right quick, because it's going to bother me if I don't remember. Oh, about renting being cheaper than buying. But then I'm going to also talk about how much you need to have as far as your finances, how much money you need to have. And I'm going to talk about the salary they say you need to purchase a home, but also how much cash should you have on hand if you want to buy a home for furnishing, for emergencies, for whatever. I'll get into all that good stuff on another video. So the Uncle ABL channel, it won't be only about women and dating. It'll be about your finances. It'll be about nutrition eventually. I think eventually I'm going to start cooking on there. I've been cooking a lot lately with my HelloFresh. I might even push that because that's really been fun. I really enjoy those. Real easy to prepare. So I'm going to do a lot of different things on that channel. So y'all just go ahead and subscribe to it. The link is always in the description, and I'm going to spam the chat with it right here so you guys can go ahead and just click on that and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We're at about 12,600 subs on Uncle ABL. By the end of this year, 2024, I want to have 100,000 subs. I want to have a silver play button for this channel and for Uncle ABL. And eventually, I want to get a gold button for both. We can start with getting the gold button for this channel. I've not heard anything back from my guys over there. I'm still waiting on them to holler back. But that's pretty much it. Shout out to you guys again for being here. I think I got all the supers. Yep, I got all the super chats. Again, I'll be back again live on Saturday, same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.